Welcome to the WCB Podcast. All right, this is a unique week. We have episode 717 and 718. We're rocking part 1, part 2. Obviously, you're going to be starting on part 1, which you're listening right now. Look for part 2. So they kind of make one big, long podcast, but we separated them because even though they're related in the families between Evolution and AAE, they're very much separate podcasts and separate companies there. So a little confusing. A couple plugs first as we get going. We're going to do some AAE and Evolution giveaways during this part 1 and part 2 series that we're launching today. So commenting on Spotify, if you listen on Spotify, when it's active on social media, comment on socials, we're going to pick some giveaways. Code WCB works on both companies' web pages, Evolution and AAE. We're going to try and draw some winners from code usage for that. So I know it's a little early for a lot of you guys to be getting your broadheads for the fall, but this is the best thing to get you guys thinking about getting your broadhead stock. We're going to go through all the benefits of it. Check out the new releases, the Ibex and the Shadow, and then all the great products from AAE. So should motivate you to shoot your bow, motivate you to get some gear ahead of time so you're not panicking, get familiar with the broadheads, all that good stuff. An added note, you can get whatever AAE fletchings you want at AAE and use that code WCB, or now available, workingclassbowhunter.com. We have our own WCB branded AAE Hybrid 26 vanes. We have white, green, and black. And we also have WCB Euromount brackets on the website. Some women's flowy scoop muscle tanks available on the website. Some new hats, some new drinkware. A bunch of new stuff there. The WCB shoot is June 21st. The after party is going to be at the New Windsor Depot in downtown New Windsor. So all this info is on our website, workingclassbowhunter.com. There's a shoot tab. There's a store tab. There's a podcast tab. There's a partners tab with all the discount codes for all the partners. So go WCB, Evolution, and at AAE. All that support and usage and everything is definitely appreciated, and our partners appreciate it. It's pretty cool. Have these top tier brands come to us in person to record with us. It's pretty fucking awesome. So that's the initial front. Hey, I got to tell you about some things here. As of right now, we still have a hunt spot open for France roe deer, July 20th through the 25th. It's a $35 hunt plus your flight to kill 2 roe deer. It's pretty cool. The rest of the partners, the podcast is presented by Grizzly Coolers. Code WCB works on that, of course. Big time. We're kind of in the lull. If you haven't planted your borderline or your spring plots, you should be planting your fall plots now. WCB 2025. Huntworth gear, Loopholed optics, trophy line, Hoyt archery, and those Hoyts are looking nice, decked out in all AAE accessories. Novix tree stands, Black Ovis, and Camo Fire. Right now, there is a limited run shirt with us, WCB and Black Ovis, and a Dustin DiTilio design. Stay mad at them. Get on Black Ovis and check that out. I'm pretty pumped about it. It's kind of encompasses my mindset and WCB's mindset when you're chasing a specific buck in the fall. It's not that we're actually mad at them, but you got to stay hunting like you're mad at them, because that's how you stay on them and stay motivated. So check that out. Exclusive run shirt. It's a badass shirt of a guy just pinwheeling a buck from a saddle. So got to love that. So check out Black Ovis, code WCB at everything Black Ovis works. Victory Archery, Victory Arrows, Rip TKOs is what I'm running this fall. Dialed Archery, The Proof. Blackgate trail camera, some exciting stuff coming down the line from Blackgate, and some giveaways from a lot of these brands at our shoot. Illuma trailers, we're pulling one up to Canada Bear Camp right now with the side-by-side on it as this podcast launches. And we'll be hunting right now up in Bear Camp with Old Barn Taxidermy. So all your taxidermy needs, you should be thinking about Old Barn in Fort Madison, Iowa. Deercast, we got some Deercast giveaways going on at the shoot. A lot of Elite Plus memberships. In our opinion, it's the leader in mapping and weather predictive and movement tools for whitetails. Rogue Ridge e-bikes. I haven't broke my collarbones yet. That's good. AAE and Evolution, of course. Rack Hub, code WCB. Mountain Ops, code WCB will save you 20% and keep you fueled up through the summer, getting ready to gear up for fall. So I kind of ran through those quick, but I wanted to be timely. I wanted to get you guys enjoying these episodes. 717 and 718, shout out to Evolution and AAE for their partnership, and we appreciate you guys supporting us and them. And we're just out here having a good time. Don't let us ruin your day. Enjoy these. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey everybody, this is Mark Drury with Drury Outdoors.
Hey all you deer hunters, this is Jimmy John.
This is Jared Mills.
Hey everybody, this is Caitlin Moss.
Hey guys, this is Jared Scheffler from Whitetail Adrenaline.
What's up guys, Josh Sparks from Midwest Whitetail.
Hey, this is Nick Mutt from Bone Collector.
This is Chancey Walters.
Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast.
Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast.
WCB.
Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter. You're listening to the Working Class Bow Hunter. That's right, this is a podcast for Billy Joe Lunchbucket, the working man, just like me and you. My name's Travis T-Bone Turner from the Bone Collector. Thank you for tuning in.
Those people on that pod, those hosts are a little unhinged.
Working Class. Working Class. Working Class. Working Class Bow Hunter.
You're listening to my buddies on Working Class Bow Hunter.
Best motherfucking podcast on the planet.
Episode 718, possibly 718 and 19. We don't know what we're going to do with this episode. This is a 2-in-1 banger, but part of me wants to split them in two, so there's two separate episodes.
See what happens.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to separate them. We're going to do a part 1, part 2, because it's our show. We can do what we want with our show.
We can.
Yeah, Kurt Geyer speaking.
Eric Hammond.
Doug Schmidt.
And two special guests. You guys flew to us.
We did. Dale Perry. Nick Fisher.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, thanks,
Absolutely.
boys.
We got to meet you guys during the ATA of this past year, which is awesome and great. But we've been introduced to you guys through great friends. Jake Powers is largely responsible for that introduction. And we met Zach and then got to know you guys. And next thing you know, we're working together.
Right.
So first of all, thank you guys for the partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will say, people are automatically going to think that this episode is a giant commercial. It's not. And I'll tell you why, because if it sucked, we wouldn't have gone this far in the conversation to like be working together. Like, we got introduced, people be like, well, obviously AAE is like, people know AAE, but like the broadhead thing is a tough realm, I think, nowadays to break into. But when you're proven and good, people know about you.
Yeah, I think that's a true statement. I mean, bottom line, when shit goes south, everybody blames broadhead. You know,
It's a terrible.
so it's a horrible thing. I never hear anybody with my obviously good friend and best friend. Nobody ever blames the veins. It's like never, ever. It wasn't the stabilizer.
Those
it wasn't the
fucking
veins. It wasn't fucking veins.
Maybe that's an education
It's like,
issue.
God damn, that broadhead didn't do it.
Are you saying it's always the veins?
Yeah.
That's funny as hell, yeah.
That is funny.
But yeah, the broadhead, that's a product that I would want to have no part in fucking making, because it's the first thing.
Yeah.
It's the fucking first thing.
I mean, people either probably love them or they hate them. There's probably no in between.
No, and I think that's one of our biggest things. I mean, obviously we're growing. We have great partnerships. We have a lot of, great influencers shooting them. But the reason people are gravitating towards them is because they work.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we don't have a history of losing customers. We don't have, I tried them for a year and then I went to somebody else. I mean, we have repeat customers every year. We have people buying blade packs. So it's a proven product, but that takes a long time. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's 3.5 million bow hunters in the United States, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there. That number.
So, I mean, if we had 3.5 million people try us, we would own this market.
Yeah, right.
Because the broadhead does its work. It's literally fail-proof. It won't fail, because even if 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10, it didn't open, you're still shooting a fixed bladed broadhead.
Okay.
With bleeders.
So
with bleeders.
That being said, all right, we're going to start with evolution, do AAE. So then if we do split it in two, it'll be two clean transition, but it'll be fun because it's one flowing conversation just off that. So if that's cool with you guys,
It flows well for us because we both know each other's business so well. It doesn't matter.
it's perfect.
It's probably going to cross over in some way, but that's where it's going to be hard for you to decide.
That's totally
what to
fine.
split.
That's why people need to listen to both.
Just
And we'll
rub my shoulders while I'm talking.
Yeah.
Here, he scratch his back.
Help Daddy get comfortable.
Yeah.
So, all right, what is your, starting with you, Dale, what's your title at Evolution? What do you do at Evolution? So it's clear, so people know.
I'm the owner.
Okay, there it is. Clean and cut and dry.
My title is janitor, mail guy, go to UPS, build
He is
stuff,
not the
event
boss.
stuff.
Right,
Not
right.
the boss. No.
Specialize
Our
in urinal
customer
cakes.
service liaison, my wife, is the boss. For sure.
Shit. Liaison's a
For
good
sure. Yes.
Fancy.
Okay, well, all right. I just want to get that out of the way so people know you came to us. So WCB listeners, the owner of Evolution Outdoors, the broadheads we're talking about, is in the studio talking right now. First of all, I got to give you guys both credit. Like, thank you for the partnership, right? It's a new partnership. You're giving us a chance. We're giving you a chance, but it more seems like you're giving us a chance, to be honest. That's a big deal for guys like us. And I think it's a big deal for listeners that have followed us for a long time, because a lot of our listeners, now that we have listeners who've been listening for a decade, which is insane and feels undeserving, I think they understand where we're at with the new partnership, and especially when people fly to us in our studio in New Windsor, Illinois, when we started doing this in fucking fold-out camp chairs on $15 microphones.
Awesome.
So I think people who followed us for a long time will appreciate like the fact that you guys are here and giving us a chance and giving our audience a chance. So I just want to get that out of the way a little bit. So thank you guys. A true, sincere thank you. And on that note, we got you guys each a bottle of our own Kill Bottle whiskey. So
awesome. Thank you.
take one
very
down,
much.
pass it around.
Yes, sir.
And so you guys can enjoy that whiskey. And then even though I know Deercast is not so popular out west, we do have 2 Deercast Elite Plus memberships for you guys. Mapping, protective tools, all that stuff.
Use them wisely.
If you're going to come whitetail hunting, or you can use it out west too, it's a great tool for
We're always open for invitations, so.
That's right. We're going to work on it.
Whoa.
We'll see how the podcast goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Take it easy. We just
Not
met
like
each
we
other.
know any leases or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So I just want to give that big thank you before we get rolling to both you guys.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Because we're going to get
Thank you.
lost in the sauce and conversation here, and it'll just be, it'll be what it is. So, all right, Evolution, you're the owner. The first, all right, there's 2 things when I first heard of Evolution. One, Jake Powers talking about it, and rumblings of Rogan mention it here and there, like organically.
Correct.
I don't know why you work with us when you got that happening in the background, but
Well, yeah, that was kind of tough. Like somebody said, yeah, you really got to try these guys out. But no, that's not it. So when I first started in the broadhead business in 2012, I designed a broadhead that was, I guess at the time people had not had, hybrid broadheads.
yeah,
So I designed the Gravedigger.
fixed or mechanical.
It was fixed or mechanical. And there was a hard, solid line between the two. You did not pass over either way. There were no people that said, I'll try this or I'll try that, especially from the fixed side. The fixed side is they would not touch a mechanical broadhead. So,
Yeah, they're gonna fail.
Yep, they're going to
Blades are
fail.
weak.
It's not going to work. It's blah, blah, blah.
You can't penetrate a shoulder.
And
with those.
honestly, in the beginning, those are true statements. They really were. The mechanical broadheads came out, I'm going to say, early 99?
we talking about
to me, I just always
like
marked it as 2000. But
Spitfire style.
Yeah, the real marketable ones.
Yeah.
because you had Rocket in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
You want to take it back to weird heads. We were shooting
there were some weird
57 grain Wolverine 3 blades.
57 grains.
Oh, that's a rabbit holes, man. We were the first people to shoot over 300 feet per second before anybody knew it was doable.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. That's a whole different world. That is.
That's a world I like to hear
that's
about.
aging us right there is what that is. That's before
You
bows.
know we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Especially
That's before
when we are.
bows are what they are now.
There's a bow up on that screen that did it.
Okay, so like,
Yeah.
especially, well, quick, Nick, we should say this when we're getting into it. I was going to wait until we dove hard into AAE.
This is why it's going to be really hard to do.
Yeah,
It's going to be a lot of
might as well,
separate.
might as well get all the players here.
We'll just do it. All right. What do you do at AAE? Let people know, and we'll just go. I was trying to separate it, but why do that? We'll just do it.
Well, I answer the phones. I take out the trash.
The janitor.
Yeah.
It's such a glamorous life being an owner.
No one hunts for a living.
Yeah. So, third generation owner, owner, CEO, chief archery designer, born and raised into the business. Been working there since I was 10 years old. Bought it from my dad 2 years ago. And, archery is life.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Within the business, archery is who we are. Injection molding is what we do, but we really just like to make anything and everything you can think of. There isn't hardly a market we don't touch somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you guys are known as like the premium archery brand. Like AAE is, I think, has had that reputation of just premium quality stuff that if you're serious, that's what you're getting into.
Yeah. And that's exactly the direction we took the company.
Yeah.
15 years ago it was, how can we fill every niche possible? And really quick, it became, I don't believe in some of these products we're making.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Or presenting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use them. So why am I going to make them? Why am I going to sell them?
Right.
Yeah.
And it turned really quick, and it probably took us down a path where it hurt our business a little bit in the short term. Especially right around that 2008 to 2011 time frame, where we really the whole world was after say the Z coils, limb saver stabilizers and things in that range, where it was $20 and they just sold cajillions of them.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't believe in any of this.
Yeah.
And, that was right about the time I was getting involved in the manufacturing decision making, we'll say, within the business. And it was like, if I don't want to use it, why would I make it?
Well, it makes total sense. And also, I'm excited to later in the episode to talk about like something like what you guys are saying, like some of the shit you guys seen in archery evolution, no pun intended, of like over the years. Because we've seen some evolution, but not the same.
Probably not the same switch that you guys.
Oh, not even close.
Not even close.
I'm at 33 years in this industry now, so.
Yeah,
you've seen
and I'm
a lot.
34. So,
Like total.
total.
But
Like years old.
I'm not that
Like
much
years
older
old.
than you are. Right?
You're not. You're still a young stud, but
I'm 35. I'm a little bit better.
yeah. There's going to be some fun stuff to talk about, but like, all right, going back the broadhead thing, talking about like, all right, late 90s, 2000's a good marker to call like expandable on the scene, but like maybe trickled in before.
Yeah, and so back then the manufacturing wasn't nearly what it is today. The capabilities of the machines weren't as good. The CAD programs weren't as good. The material wasn't as good. So obviously there was some awesome stuff made back then, but to build a mass-produced product with any kind of time frame, when human hands have to touch it, it costs money. And that's one of the things that we've tried to do is we manufacture stuff. We manufacture all our stuff here. We do import our blades because nobody in the United States wants to touch them, which we're still working on, but it's just a thing. But, all our ferrules are produced here. I mean, obviously AAE makes them. And so they're produced in Prescott. I live in Goodyear, Arizona.
Let's not skim over that. AAE makes the ferrule.
AAE makes the ferrules. AAE makes their, like he says, archery. They're AAE. So it's how many different companies? It's like Arizona Applied Engineering. So they do. Yeah. They're a full machine shop. So and then they're a full molding company, and then they make archery products. So Nick wears a lot of hats.
We're 5 brands.
Yeah. And then there's Feather Vision, on the lenses side. So when it comes to manufacturing things, when I first started Gravedigger, the Gravedigger broadhead, I manufactured them in China. And nobody wanted to talk to me. I was a nobody, and everybody's like, yeah, every broadhead's already been done.
What year was this?
2012.
Okay. Oh yeah, 12. Okay.
Yeah. I started the process in probably 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, because we brought them in-house in 12.
Right. So we started that, and so nobody wanted to deal with me. Nobody, and I talked to rep groups, and they were like, "Oh, you'll never be successful in the broadhead business. Everything's already been done." And this,
Race
that,
to
and
the
another.
bottom.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
type of thing,
pretty much what it was. And then when I brought all that stuff and brought the manufacturing here with Nick, they had just gotten a new machine that had the capabilities to do what we needed to do without somebody having to touch it. Mm-hmm. And so that's when you start getting a real paradigm shift in how things are made. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that we produced a better product. We got it for the right price. It wasn't the cheapest price, but it was the right price that we could sell at the right price.
Mm-hmm. For the product
for the product that it needed to be out there. So so that just grew, and as we developed things in the product, changing and making small tweaks, because I live in Arizona and the people that I deal with are elk hunters for the most part.
Yep.
They were designed to hunt big animals. Mm-hmm. They were designed to fly good, because in Arizona, if you can't shoot 60 yards, you don't get to kill anything, because it's an open country. We don't hunt tree stands very often. We do, obviously, but
Yeah.
But, a lot of it's spot and stock. So in building that brand and building that product, those were the parameters that we had to fall under.
Yeah.
And so that just took us down this road of development, and Nick was a big part of that. I could bounce ideas off of him, and he had the manufacturing side, and I had the thought process side, because even like he says, my brain works a little bit different than everybody else's.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm
Thank
not
God.
a status quo guy. So I'm not a status quo guy. So now today, because of, jump fast forward, selling that company, moving into this company, learning what I learned. So the Evolution brand was exactly that. It's the evolution of what I've learned.
Yeah. That's great.
And so being able to switch between fixed and mechanical was actually kind of on accident, be honest with you.
Okay.
Is when we designed the blades, we knew they could fit in a certain slot because of the new locking system that I had designed versus the old Gravedigger, so they could be more precise. So in that, we could now take those two blades out and put a thicker blade that matched those two, because we didn't have variables. And so it just ended up working. And so that's how that came. And then learning that, we did learn that, because the blade design and how there's no dull edges and there's, and everything flies the same, we could just change blades throughout and have the same aerodynamics, because your ferrule is the same aerodynamics.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's hard to get an iron will and a rage to fly the same, because their ferrules aren't designed the same.
Yep.
So they're pushing wind in a different way, where ours are all pushing wind in the same way.
Yes. Okay.
And that's what makes them different.
Yeah. I'll tell you, before you, I didn't give a fuck about hearing about any other broadhead ever. And I hope that doesn't sound negative towards you or anybody out there listening. But someone would be like, I got this new broadhead design, I'd zone out. Is that, you know what I'm saying, kind of?
Oh, I have people tell me they have new broadhead. There's probably 7 to 10 broadheads on the market right now that I helped with.
Okay.
That I literally had somebody come to me that knew somebody that knew me and said, what do you think of the design? And I have helped them work through their flaws. Because I'm
crazy
not
nice of you.
I'm not in it to, be the only one on the market.
Right.
Well, you can't be.
Cool. Try everybody's product. I don't care. Just try ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you try ours, we got you.
Gotcha.
And I love that, because it's not cocky, that's confident. Because you're obviously, if you were cocky, you wouldn't help anybody with anything.
Correct.
But
Correct.
I want to go back on what I said, because I don't want to sound negative. But it just seemed like every time you turn around, it's like a blackout. I'm just.
There was a time there early on.
I got new product.
Everyone
And maybe it's slowed down the last few years, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm
seemed
saying?
like
I hope
it.
that doesn't sound too bad, but it's like,
I'm sure they see it the most.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it while I get some rest.
We're just in the lull. Archie runs in going back 30 some odd years. Archery runs in 7-year cycles. We're in the bottom of the cycle right now. It'll come back. Don't worry.
Is that true?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I believe you guys for
7-year
sure.
cycles, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going up.
So we're starting now.
We're gonna start. Yeah, we're swinging on the upscale.
Okay, that's
There's some broadheads.
So
that have
in 2 years,
recently come out.
you're going to see an eruption of new products, new concepts, new to them ideas. Because again, we go back into if it was pre 2010, it was forever ago, and I look at you all like it was yesterday. So,
yeah.
you know that conceptualized world where I've got this grand new scheme, and it was like we proved that was a failure 30 years ago, but okay.
But good luck.
Have at it. Well, I want,
and one will stick. One or two will stick.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Oh,
for
totally.
sure.
That's the cool
because
thing about
manufacturing's better.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it.
True.
business. Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I never
So
thought of-
those machines that now produce our product, they're expensive and they do burn up once in a while. Just saying. But
You really want to just poke on the sore spots, don't you?
we had a catastrophe. And nobody's fault. It just the machine caught fire, so we were down for a while. So we're back up. We're good.
We're back.
But
Too hot out there.
yeah, it's too hot in Arizona. But
Products are hot.
But those machines they're so advanced. It's crazy to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, really is. And the people that are running them, Nick's people, they're awesome. And that's the part that separates companies, because if you think about most companies in this industry, and they're new companies, most of them are machine shops that are archers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether they're a bow company, or they're a broadhead company, or they're a stabilizer company.
Tree stand company.
Yeah. I mean, they're machine shops that are hunters and say, I can make this. And that's what they do. Where myself, I'm not that. If I buy a product, which we'll talk about, there's a few here. If I buy a product and get into something and I don't like the way it works for me, then I will replace it. Right. I'll build something that works for me.
Yep.
And so that's the general plan. I mean, that's how I operate. And if other people like it, great. If they don't, then it's just for me.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's working out.
It's working out. Okay.
People are liking
so
what
far.
you're doing.
So, at the end of the day, that's how I operate. I don't try to design, and I try to live a life that. And he said it in a meeting that we had one time, just recently, that really stuck with me. He said, "If it doesn't make archery better, then we're not going to build it."
Yeah.
There's no reason to just build product just to build product. It's got to benefit the end user.
Yeah.
And if I have to say this benefits me and what I'm doing, then hopefully it benefits somebody else, because I'm the average guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and all you can do is try. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been there the same way. I bet you a bunch of products have been made off of, hey, I can make this better.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
I
can
agree.
change, I can change this to make this work for me.
Yeah.
And both sides, because I think that's been one of the biggest failures of the industry, and blame social media for most of it.
Yeah.
But this push for we all have to have something new and groundbreaking every year. Well, it was really exciting for 3 or 4 years, but we were already pushing the cusp.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Matt McPherson put it best a lot of years ago, where talking about improving bows, and you had this sheet of paper and you just tear it and tear it and tear it. Well, we're down to a piece of paper that's this big. And that improvement cost $1,000 to split that tiny little piece again.
Yep.
It wasn't worth it.
Not worth it.
That's a great
But
way to
the
put
general public wants to see this constant improvement. It didn't make archery better.
No, it's not in the.
It
bow
actually
world,
made
it's
archery
not.
made well, and across the accessory lines, across everything.
Right.
When we got to have what's new. Give me something viable.
Right.
Yeah. When
that
also goes
people
to
are
the
gonna
point is,
spend money on.
How far do you improve before it's not bow hunting anymad
Right.
Well, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Now we're going back to
Get spicy here.
trad archer's making a big comeback, man.
Speaking the guy that just got a recurve is waiting for arrows from victory.
Hurry up, Victory! I want to shoot it.
I want to be a recurve guy now.
I'm trying hard. Neck tattoo and a trad bow. I'm fucking going old school. Look at me. I'm a
Going hard in the
rebel.
paint.
I have an open-ended contact with one of the best trad shooters in the world, and at the end of the day, I just like killing shit too much. I haven't gone down that road yet.
Yeah.
You know?
And
I'm with you.
here's the thing, I'm transparent about my traditional journey. It sounds like I'm transitioning.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
Why can't you support me?
Does it?
It's like
I mean, we can paint your nails now.
That's the thing. Like, I want to shoot it because it's fun and it has less stress when you're shooting it in the yard than it does like a compound for some reason for me.
Oh, your expectations are way low.
They're way low.
100%.
And if I'm there, I'll hunt with it. If I'm not, I won't.
Right.
And if you have a problem with it, fuck you.
Bite me. You know,
Fuck
that's
off.
it. That's
Everybody
it. That's
support
real.
Kurt going through his trad phase.
Yeah, I'm going through my transition. Faggot.
No, I would
double it
love to. I mean, I've shot some tournaments with trad stuff, and it's a blast because your expectations are way different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're just a slinging them.
Way different.
If you miss, you don't
Oh,
care.
I hit foam. Good.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And no one's judging. Like, man, you
Moving
hit forward.
forward.
Yeah.
20 yards is a 30-inch plate. We're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, we're good.
Smoked it.
Yeah.
So, all right, the broadhead thing. When I was earlier, I was making the point that I was blacking out here in people talk
Correct.
about broadhead.
Okay.
And it's only just because everybody talks about everyone has their opinion on what broadhead they use, and whatever they use is the best broadhead. And
100%.
7.5 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, people don't want to hear about the broadhead you use because they've already made up their mind in their head that the broadhead that they use is the best.
Correct.
And that's a little bit of my symptoms of blacking out when I hear somebody
Yeah.
tell me about another broadhead, admittedly.
It's when they ask, well, so what are you using? Then you say it, and they're like,
Ooh.
oh, brother.
I shot a doe in the guts and never found her with that head. It's like we shot her in the gut.
Shot in the leg,
Shot her in the
never found her.
ass. Yeah, I never found her.
But I'll tell you, I know enough people in the industry that we are close with now that spoke highly of your heads and was like, dude, you got to run in there and talk and just see it out. So we got these heads at ATA and we talked about, you know, hey, we're all cool. We all know the same people. Is there something here? You handed us a bunch of cases of heads and you go, you guys are going to Texas in a week? Take these fucking things with you. And Doug and I did that. Mm-hmm. And we had, which I got the heads pulled up on the monitor. We had the Hyde, the Whitetail Fury, and I say Jackal.
Jekyll.
Jekyll.
So think of Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So we took all those. I threw one of each on each and just mixed them up. And I'm like, we'll just.
You asked me, do we have to tune them? Nope, screw them on.
We just tossed them in there.
Legitimately, I had got my bow.
It's a gamble every time you reach for it.
Yeah, right. Isn't it, bro?
It's roulette.
Isn't it, though? Yeah.
Arrow
That's what
roulette.
we did.
man.
We did arrow roulette, and we shot first thing out of the rip. And I'm sure people will see it, but if you didn't see the reel on Evolutions, and somehow you got away with posting on TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey,
how
we do now.
How did you pull that
I think
off?
we just did.
How did you guys not get your profile?
I have no
pulled?
idea. My social
Mad
media
with
guy
Man Zach.
asked Zach.
Yeah, Zach pulled that off. But we shoot 2 javelina
TikTok, don't take it down yet.
down. Yeah.
It could be more back to back.
They're not listening. Don't worry.
Oh,
We
I
shot.
bet they are.
They could. Yeah, actually, they could be. You know,
They're listening right now.
we shot 2 javelina back to back, and it was like chaos and destruction. Like the video's borderline social media postable. Like,
No, it is. When I first saw it, I was like, I'm not sure we can post this. And your comment was, what the fuck? What are they going to do? Take it down? Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
Why do I watch Kurt shoot
We're
the first one?
very close to Facebook jail. A lot.
Yeah. Why watch?
well, you should be if you're almost banned on social as a broadhead company. It means you're killing it.
Yeah, it means you're
That's a
doing
good
something
thing.
So I'm gonna just scroll and find you like my. We'll talk about the decoy here.
Yeah, I watched Kurt shoot first, and when I just watching it, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was chaos. It's been a little bit. I was gonna see if I could pull that reel up.
You're too far. That's
Too far?
That's last year. Dale doing the Soreneck shoot down challenge. Up.
Where is that reel?
That was September elk.
That was Christmas. It
was
After
January.
that. So it should be right in there somewhere.
No, turkeys. There's my.
Did it get taken down?
It might have got taken down. There ain't no
Oh, wait,
way.
is
Not on
it that one where you
Instagram.
flip the screen?
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that would
yeah.
be the one.
Let us play it. Flip the screen.
Flip me.
Flip it.
But yeah, we.
Everybody turn your head.
Yeah.
there we go.
That's the first one.
He's just plowing. It's perfect.
And it looks like they go further than they do in this video because it's filmed in 120 frames. But it's like 7 yards.
Mine was pretty. When it hits the tree, mine's pretty carnage.
But
Well, and you talk about that one, and we've had some
There's
comments.
Kurt's in the background.
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
they hated that.
Oh my god. And Javelin are tough little guys.
They are.
We shot those two, and then the other one that's not as clean footage. I shot.
Spraying.
I shot the Jekyll, and it's just a problem for them. It didn't go anywhere. Like it's like nice. And then we shot some does with the Whitetail Furies. We both shot bucks with the Whitetail Furies.
Both of them didn't go 20.
So, we watched every animal fall
Yeah.
over dead, and we were down there with the McFerrins, and they're like, "What heads are those?" And I'm like, "Check them out." So we're showing them off. That's why I texted you. I'm like, "I'll text you right now." I was like, "Hey, can we just leave these with them in case, like, one, if they want? I don't know if they have a broadhead partnership, and I'm not trying to throw them on the bus, but they have a lot of people come hunt with them. Like, what people try them out,
Right.
And so they're like, "Yeah, leave them."
Yeah, because that's what we want. We want you to try them. I mean, the hardest transition for an archer is, we're going to look at some releases here later. But releases, people will try a release and drop $300 on a release in a heartbeat because they just want to try something different. They think it's going to make them better, whatever it is, or they're tired of what they have and they need to switch things up. And that's great. But if you have somebody that goes out and spends crazy amount of money on a bow, arrows, quiver, sight, all that stuff, gets his food plot ready, sets up his blinds, does all that stuff. And then at the very last minute, you say, here, try this broadhead. It's very hard for them to do that.
Yeah.
And so, because where we get people is by word of mouth, the people that use the product. And there's a lot of people out there that we don't pay, in any way, shape, or form. They just like using it. And we've had great success. One of the biggest successes we've had is from John Lusk, his archery test, his broadhead test, and how well the broadheads performed, And so, especially in the Midwest and stuff, that people that can shoot, 6 does or whatever, get some. Try them on a doe.
Yeah.
Check it out. A lot of people don't want to switch something because the buck of their lifetime, that's what they're trying to hunt and that's what they're doing. But at least you can try that. We're very successful out west. People get 1 or 2 tags. And this is what they're trusting. They're trusting their hunt on.
All right, you know what's funny? We were, speaking of out western stuff, we were in camp in Texas. We were watching, it was like midday. We were watching Outdoor Channel or whatever program was on. And Eastman's, those guys were on, and they're elk hunting. They did a spot and spot elk, and he shot one. We're kind of like, we're bullshitting while watching it, kind of, so we're not paying all the attention. We're like, I think he just shot that elk with an evolution head.
Yes, he did.
And I was like, no shit. Like, and they could rewind it on that one. I'm like, all right, well, there you go. They're shooting elk with them.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of funny. I'm like, yeah, these new heads we're talking, and this and, having that conversation.
Right.
Which is a conversation you have, And we're sitting here fucking with them at the table, and I'm like, oh, fuck, he shot an elk with them right there. It was just funny, So yeah, I mean, guys are smacking elk with them left and right.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Is today's products and our product, we don't have, because everybody has broadheads, mechanical broadheads. They feel have penetration issues, and we don't fall in that category.
What do you mean?
Okay, so if you have a mechanical broadhead. Most mechanical broadheads on the market have a dull edge, and that's what triggers your blades to open. Okay. So that hits the hair and hide. That now triggers the broadhead to open, whether it's over the top or rear deploying or slide back or however you want it to
cam
do.
Or whatever it is,
the cam or whatever. So it hits that dull edge, and then that's what triggers it to open. So in that, now you're asking a fully deployed broadhead to get through the hair and hide of an animal. Okay, which is the hardest thing to do.
Right.
When you got an animal, you don't start in the shoulder because you don't want to dull your knife cutting through the hair and hide.
Okay, can we all right, I'm sorry to do this. Can we talk about this slower? I want people to really, that are at work, hear this because
it'll work.
because it's hard to visualize. I get what you're saying, but because it deploys the blade, and the blade's fully deployed, and then it has to continually cut through hair
and
then
hide,
bone,
right.
then organ.
These are other broadheads.
Other
that are
broadheads.
doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So in that's what drains energy.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And so when you have that, that's when people say, well, it cuts a big hole going in. Yes, 100%. They cut a big hole going in. But the problem is they're not getting full pass-throughs, or they're not getting deep enough penetration. You just saw that javelina video we just showed. Okay. The first shot, it doesn't look like that arrow goes in very far. That's not the case. That arrow goes through the front shoulder, hits the opposite side shoulder, and then when the javelina runs, that arrow gets pushed back out. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. That's why that if it was what it looked like, that javelina would have ran off.
It would have ran 150 yards.
Yeah.
And we got one negative comment on there, and it's not even I commented on it. It was on your guys' ticker. I go, well, he went 6 yards, so
he's literally in the background. In the next video.
But typically, when someone makes comments like that, they haven't shot a lot of animals because they don't understand what's happening.
Correct.
Yeah, they don't
correct.
have a clue.
And that's the biggest part.
Without sounding arrogant, that's what it is.
Right. And so
sorry.
So when you're asking your broadhead to do that, you're draining energy, you're doing all that stuff. So what our broadheads do, because there's no dull edges, they deploy on entry, not impact. So they penetrate like a fixed bladed broadhead. So the 2 kick out blades or whatever, you're using, whether it's the Whitetail Fury or the Hyde.
You want to hold this and open it while you talk,
Sure.
maybe?
Sure.
Don't cut yourself because I'm
Eric, give us your hand.
My first time.
Yeah, we're going to use Aaron's hand as an example here.
So put your hand here and push it through here. So these points. So if you look at this from an end view, then this broadhead is penetrating like a fixed broadhead because there's no dull edge here. So what it does is it cuts through the hair and hide, and then as these blades hit the meat in the back of the hide, the curved structure of them start to drive themselves open. They don't have to be pushed open. It's just automatic. Just like when you have a regular knife and you cut something, it cuts in that motion because your knives at home are all curved. Mm-hmm. They're not straight unless you're using a cleaver. So that's this same principle. If you look at a lot of broadheads out there today that have curved blades, they came off of this design. And if anybody tells you any different, they're full of shit. They came off of this design.
Damn.
So going back to the Gravedigger.
Going back, yes. So anything after that, that's what they're doing. And so what this does is now you're inside the body cavity. Now you haven't lost energy because you're penetrating like a fixed bladed broadhead. And then it expands. So these blades curve open. And then you have that cutting through. And it's just creating a wider path.
Mm-hmm. And this is the Whitetail Fury.
This is the Whitetail Fury. This is 2 3/8. Yeah, this is. I mean, people shoot it with elk. Have shot elk last year with it. We recommend it for deer size.
We're gonna go shoot bears with it.
Yeah, bears are great because bears are notorious for not bleeding. They're soft animals.
I was going to.
Yeah, they don't bleed very well, and the hair, and even when they do, the hair absorbs a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
So this is a great thing because it's cutting a wide path. So that's all you're looking for is you're looking for penetration. And so when people say, well, I'm not a mechanical guy, and I'm like, okay, that's great. Are you a fixed guy? And they're like, yeah, fixed 100%. I said, so I can go to Walmart and buy any fixed bladed broadhead and give it to you, and you'll be happy with that. Mm-hmm. And their first answer is, well, no. Well, then you're not a fixed guy.
Gotcha.
Then you're a kind of fixed guy, and you like certain things, and that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the same thing as saying all mechanicals are the same, and they're not.
They're not, yeah. And everyone can agree on that. I think everybody can agree on that line of statement. So.
Yes. And so that's our design, and that's what we've pushed, and being able to switch between the two. I mean, everything I've killed in the last 2 years, I've killed with this broadhead, the Whitetail Fury, other than my elk. I shot it with a hide. Yeah. I had Whitetail Furies in my quiver, but I just grabbed a hide when I shot him. So...
Yeah, like me thinking I'm killing my turkey with a turkey wrecker.
Yeah, like you. That was awesome. You're like, well, it's stuck in the target, and that's not what it was.
I was like, it went through that bird and went into the decoy. I'm like,
hey, turkey's dead, right?
Yeah, turkey's dead.
Turkey's dead.
Stone cold, dude.
Yeah.
I've killed 3 turkeys with hides. I do just fine.
Dude, and, I mean, you know?
I did shoot one with a turkey wrecker, and it sounded like I hit him with a baseball bat. I found that intriguing. But
yeah, it wrecks stuff.
It's, Yeah, that was a fuck up on my. But hey, you know what the hell? It worked. But I'm excited to run these through bears. I love. I like your breakdown of it because it makes sense. Like because there is that fixed. I just call it the fixed head, but it's not really a head on there. What
Right. The front blade.
The front blade is fixed.
It's fixed. It's 3/4 inch fixed. It's sharpened all the way around. So if you don't get full penetration and it starts to work its way back out, when it does work, when this broadhead works its way back out, it's possible it could close these blades up. But the back of this blade is still cutting.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
shit.
cutting going, this, that, and another. With a Jekyll, all the blades are sharpened all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a light poundage person, or if you're more worried about whatever penetration, and you don't think you're going to get a pass through on something, putting that inside of an animal works because it's cutting going in and cutting coming back out.
I think the Jekyll will be something we run in South Africa next summer.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll probably be like our shining star over there.
Yep. We've had a lot of people go over with those, and they love them.
It's a great head for that, but just shoot the hide.
You think the hide on African game?
I shoot that. Yeah, that's what I'm.
Really?
I haven't met anything yet I wouldn't shoot a hide with.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
I agree. I've had that conversation.
I mean, maybe, I killed a 2,400-pound water buffalo at 80 yards. The only thing that stopped it was the offside leg bone.
If you can do that with the hide, you can kill African animals.
Yeah.
Well, that is an African. It's you're Asian.
It was Asiatic water buffalo. So maybe what's the big buffalo in Africa? Cape buffalo.
Yep.
I still want to shoot it with a hide just to see, and I'll maybe have a Jekyll to back it up. But
maybe we don't have to. People have heard the story on the podcast before, so I'll spare you guys for after. But I have a story about a Cape buffalo. That's I think what I'm going to go back for. I'm on Revenge Tour 2026.
That's what I want to get.
So
yeah.
You gotta just come in my camp. We'll kill two together.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna shoot mine with a Jekyll.
Yep.
I'm not gonna mess around.
Come to my camp and shoot one by yourself.
You can be all by yourself.
How cool would it be to have a double photo to Cape Buffalo?
That's pretty cool. I can't compare that.
I mean,
that'd be sick.
That might be above my pay grade.
It'd be the ultimate. It'd be the
Unless
ultimate.
you guys are offering.
You don't have to buy mine.
It's way above
I'm not
mine.
asking you to buy mine. But imagine the evolution publicity.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
We'd be the two coolest dudes in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
A
cool.
lot of cool dudes in South Africa, but
Be cool.
I'm just going to tag along and shoot the free animals. I'll
Shoot
just
the free
baboons all day.
animals.
the bonus one. Buy a Cape Buffalo, get 5 Impala free.
Get 5 and ball free. Yeah, really.
I'll take all of those. But all right, I like the breakdown of it. I mean, I'll be honest, man. It's anytime you shoot something new, you have doubts until proven otherwise. Like
100%.
That's
You
fair
should.
game in archery.
You should.
should have that way.
Yes,
Like
I agree.
But like it is funny. Someone will buy a $300 some whatever dollar release and not bat an eye, and they're fun. But people are so hesitant on broadheads, and I get it though. Like it's I don't know what it is. It's the last thing to touch the animal.
Yep.
And it's like you said earlier, as the thing that takes all the blame. I'll tell you, everything we shot in Texas, we watched die.
Yeah.
And it's on film to prove we watched it die. And
There's blood everywhere.
Well, and you talk about Dan Picard on Eastman's.
Yes.
Okay. He, in 11 years that we've been working with them, from, Gravedigger to this to, and there were a lot of times we weren't even part of the show. Just in the transitions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They continued to shoot this product. He's had one animal leave his sight before it passed.
Really?
So do you officially partner with them, or they just use it 'cause
I
they like
officially
it?
partner with them. Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Did it start that way, or did they use it and then started the conversation?
No, when I first started Gravedigger, I was at an event with Guy Eastman, and I said, "Hey, check these out."
Yeah.
Because I knew who he was.
Yeah.
He didn't know me from Adam.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Here, check them out. It's a new broadhead, this, that, and another." And he kind of was looking at him in a, I don't know, a Guy Eastman kind of way. It was kind of a, maybe. And so he's like, "Can I take a couple packs?" And I'm like, "Sure." Yeah. So he took them. And that was the end of it. I didn't hear anything for 6 months.
Yeah. Hunting season started is what happened.
Yeah. And so then I got a call from one of their guys, and he said, "Hey, can you send us some more of these? And we want you to send them to this person, and we want you to send them to this person, and we want you to send them to this person." I'm like, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah. Take a chance.
Yeah. And so I did. And
does that, all right, let me ask you this: as a business owner with like a newer company at that time, is it kind of like fuck?
It sucks ass.
It
I'm
sucks.
telling you, it's not,
Hey, how many you want me
It's
to send?
horrible. It's like, how many how many people do you
Yeah,
want?
'cause it's money out of
you're
your pocket.
scraping money, man. You are. You're grobbing. You got
Trying to do
shops.
it.
You're trying to get into
bachelor party?
shops.
What's
Yeah. You're trying to go into shops, and shops want 30 days to pay, and it's just like, oh my god.
Right.
So you're like, okay, sure.
Hey, we'll
why
ask you
not?
for less broadheads coming in here on out.
He's
You
pissed
guys
every
gotta
time we
do a lot.
ask. He's like, God damn it.
Damn it. So
That's
so
the reason why I text you. Can I leave these broadheads here? Like that's I'm
funny.
thinking about you. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So, but yeah, and then 6 months later they called and they said, hey, we would like to talk to you about running these. And after that, I came to find out that, Dan Picard and Brian Barney both tested them and they basically said, hey, this is what we want to shoot.
Brian Barney's an animal. I know him
This
from
is
his
what we
Eastman
want to
television.
shoot. Oh, yeah. Those guys, I mean, those two guys you don't want hunting you.
Yeah,
For sure.
And Brian Barney's like a marathon
Yeah, he's a
dude.
machine, dude.
Yeah. I never met him, talked to him on the phone.
Yeah, he's
that's
both.
stud.
Everybody at Eastman's are great people. From Brandon Mason to Ike to guys out of the company now. So Ike runs it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I have a great relationship with those guys. They've always been, and I help out as much as I can on their podcasts and their shows.
Yeah.
I don't have a big commitment with them, but they love the product and they'll always run it. And
That makes
it's
sense.
always a business. I mean, at some point, if somebody came in and offered them an astronomical amount of money, I can't blame them for that.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, that's everybody wants to make money in their business, and
Yeah.
that's great.
Of course.
But I don't think that's going to happen because they're just so they never have an issue. They don't have an issue. They don't have any confidence issues. They don't.
Confidence issues with your broadhead
Confidence is horrible.
Confidence in anything archery.
Yes.
Confidence, especially in a broadhead, will end
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It
End
will
you.
fucking.
That'll sit in the back of your mind till the day you die.
I've been there. We've all been there.
The
Have you been there?
last thing you need to do is at full draw think, God, I hope this works.
I hope I hit him good.
Have you guys,
Fuck.
admittedly, have you guys been
Horrible.
there with a broadhead doubt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I designed
100%.
these.
That's it.
You think I just said, hey, this is going to be great. Let's
He woke
design
up
a
one morning,
broadhead.
I want to make a broadhead.
No.
It came out
I
of
had a
spite.
broadhead fail, and it didn't even fail. It's a fixed blade broadhead. It just didn't do what it was supposed to do, and I'm not going to say what broadhead it was.
Nah,
But
say it.
no, I won't do it. So
What's it right with?
I thought this was a non-PC show.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Okay, so
you just can't, the only rule is you can't say anything.
I
racist.
came back into archery. I grew up in archery. We'll go back to the way back when, right?
Here we go.
We're
so
talking
grew
like
up in
the
archery.
30s. You and Colonel Hoyt.
me and Fred Bear.
Yeah.
Earl Hoyt.
Sexton
Sit-
Pope.
Saxon Pope.
Sitting around a campfire.
Tom Jennings.
Sorry,
Jones,
Dale.
It was-
That wasn't
this is
funny.
Way back when. But anyway, so I got out of archery and came back in. When I came back in, it was a fixed or mechanical world.
Yes.
That's what it was. And so I settled on a fixed bladed broadhead. I settled on a slick trick. Okay.
Yep.
Small 1-inch, 4-bladed broadhead. Cool.
Was it the
great.
the slick trick
The standard.
standard?
They didn't come out with none of that other stuff had
So
been out
but
yet.
at the time they just called it the standard at the time, or
No,
was
they
it
just called it slick trick.
Okay, but
It
it's
is
now
slick
the
trick.
standard.
It's the
It is the
standard.
standard,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the other one that came out at that same time was called the Piston Point, which came out, which now they changed the name of it. Somebody had it.
Is it a 4-blade fix?
No, it's a mechanical.
It's probably
It's got
the
a piston, and when it drives, the blades get open.
Oh,
It's called
It's not the Executioner, isn't it?
Meat Seeker.
Meat Seeker.
meat seeker. Okay, I
Yep.
guess
Yep.
we shot those heads for a long time, and I know that one.
Meat
But,
seeker.
but we killed animals with the standard and the
very
Viper
good
trick,
stuff.
which is like the standard,
Right.
but
Right.
two blades were small.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so
What?
what? Huh? So
Yeah, shut
anyway, so I shot. A buddy of mine shot a buck at 40 yards, and he gut shot it. And that small, super sharp blade zipped through the guts. That deer never knew it was hit. I physically watched that deer go over a mile. We never found it. We never found a blood trail, anything, because it didn't do any damage. So at that point, I said, this is bullshit. Something's got to do better. But I did want the security of having a fixed bladed broadhead. Mm-hmm. So I came up and I designed the Gravedigger, and because it had a fixed blade and it had mechanicals, but they were both sharp. So if it never opened, you were still shooting a fixed bladed broadhead. So I couldn't lose, but I could definitely benefit from the extra damage at that point.
Right.
So there's 3 places that you shoot an animal in general. I mean, obviously there's 50, but whatever. But there's 3. There's heart and lungs. Every broadhead is going to kill it. Okay. There's the shoulder. You got problems. And there's the guts. You have problems. So your big mechanicals, whatever they are going to help you in the guts because they're going to cut a bigger hole.
They're causing
gonna
damage.
do more damage.
Yep.
But those big mechanicals that are rear deploying broadheads are not going to get through the shoulder.
Right.
Okay. So you get 2 out of 3. Where a fixed bladed broadhead is not going to help you in the guts. It's going to get you in the heart and lungs and may get through the shoulder depending on your setup.
Angle, distance, setup, a lot of
100%.
variables, yeah.
So you're going to get 2 out of 3. With ours, based on the way they penetrate and based on the way they work, it helps you in all 3. And so that's my philosophy in broadheads, in a nutshell.
Evolution broadheads are an investment program.
Yes.
Makes sense.
For your shot.
Yep.
You
So
get-
you're trying to take as many variables out of the game.
Like my chances.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
By the way, I'll do a cutaway for you on the podcast. You know, if you want me to do something for you with that, you know, it's an investment program by Evolution Broadhead.
Use our code.
Use our code.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
There is a code, WCB. Get on there. Buy some for the fall. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I like it.
Help yourself.
It's a very fair breakdown, and it makes sense. And I don't feel like there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I feel like there's other broadhead companies in the game that rely on heavy smoke and mirrors and editing and too good to be trues and crazy claims and hunt Cape Buffalo frontal at 100 yards type bullshit.
TikTok videos.
Yeah, and I'm quick to remind those people, like, they're marketing a broadhead, and you're marketing a broadhead too,
100%.
but you can explain how it works
And why it works.
There's a lot of them that are making the head is no different than what exists, and there's
But
plenty
somehow
of
it's better.
There's YouTube reviews
Yes.
and tests and sharpness tests and penetration tests where you see this broadhead being marketed with black magic almost that's being disproven, and it's organic YouTube, just YouTube user guys,
right,
doing organic, everyday
everyday
Joe's
user.
doing real broadhead tests in comparison, and this head that has black magic from the creator or influencer, somehow there's no more black magic when it's just put in a real world situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is that a trick question?
no. But you get what I'm saying? It's like,
I get what you're saying. Yes.
People have
and
to
all we
discern
want to
then-
do, I do not want anybody thinking twice about what there are. If you have a broadhead that you love and you shoot it. Shoot
Yeah.
it until it doesn't work for you anymore.
Yep.
Because you cannot be thinking about what's on the end of your arrow. It's not fair to the animal.
yeah.
Because you're going to mess up. If you're thinking about oh my God, I hope this works. It's horrible. You can't do that.
Yeah, doubt is not good.
But if you
I
have...
hope you die.
But if you have opportunities, if you're a Midwest guy and you hunt hogs, or a Texas guy, or you can hunt does, or you can do that stuff, give us a shot. Give us a shot. Put it through an animal. See what it does.
Archery is so hard, right?
Archery's hard.
Archery's so hard. Then we're shooting with a projectile that, in all reality, isn't very fast. And we all know how fast an animal can move.
Too good.
So let's at least make sure everything about our setup we can't blame.
Right.
We are going to miss. We're human. Animals move faster than
Animals
we do.
react.
Shit happened.
Yeah. I first claim I missed some sad things in the last few years. But there was zero blaming in any of the equipment.
Yeah.
And
that's
so let's make
that's a
sure
good
that
feeling.
our equipment performs to what our expectation is. That's it.
Totally.
Then all we can do is look in the mirror and go, well, you suck.
Yeah. That was all
That's
you.
the whole thing.
Your fault.
And it's a horrible thing. And I say this because, obviously influencers are awesome and we love them. And it's
Most
great
times,
for-
yeah.
Most times. But in reality, there's so many things that you can tweak and touch and say, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to say, I'm gonna make all my broadheads and my arrows 452.1 grains. You know, and
Please, let's go down this rabbit hole, can we?
It's coming.
And everybody's gonna do this, and they're like, and there's so many people out there that are telling them this is what you have to do, and this is what I do. They're making content. Yeah. There is nobody on the planet that is that good. Trust me, we know the people that are that good, and they can't tell the difference.
And better yet, they don't care.
They don't care. And I mean, if you're
beg of
set
you to
up
go
as
ask any high performance top number one archer in the
World-class
world
shooter.
who bow hunts and ask them what their arrows weigh.
they ain't gonna know.
Much less are they within 1 grain.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some shit when we get into the AAE side of stuff that I'm going to bring up.
Yeah, okay.
There's the AAE
I'm
side,
rock
and
hard
there's
right
the Nick Fisher.
Yeah. There's a Nick Fisher thing, and then there's AAE. And the reason these broadheads are so good is because Nick Fisher is that guy. Okay, he wants everything to be exact. But at the end of the day, when you're setting up your arrows, and when you got your bow set up and you get it tuned correctly, first thing is you should never have to broadhead tune an arrow. That's stupid. Either you have a bad setup, you have a bad bow tune, or you have a bad broadhead.
Okay, I'll tell you this. Number one question we've got since we started shooting Evolution.
Do you have to broadhead tune them?
How do they fly?
Yep. And screw them on, shoot them. We do it at TAC events.
I love
we
that.
have a set. We set up a target at 100 yards or 80 yards. We did, and it's like screw them on and shoot them. And they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, do it with a Jekyll. Do it with a fixed blade broadhead. There's no way.
What do they have to lose?
Yeah,
Try it.
Do it.
You're offering it.
Yeah.
Do it. Screw
Why
it
they
on and shoot
question
'em.
you? Like, just
and
I
they
would
come
just be
back
like,
and
yeah,
they're
I'll do
like,
it.
oh my God. Well, one of the reasons is what we just talked about. There's no dull edges. So when you're trying to push a blade that's 30 thousandths thick through the air that's flat, and you have 2 sticking out or 3 sticking out, that creates drag.
Mm-hmm.
There's no drag on that broadhead. It cuts through the air just like everything else. So you should never have to broadhead tune your bow. If you do, there's an issue somewhere.
I am going to say, and I'm just going to pat my own back on this one.
Pat it. Dale, actually, you
Do it.
pat us back,
Okay.
please.
Yeah. Because a lot of it comes into making sure the ferrule's machined straight.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Because when Gravedigger, and sorry, Gravedigger, throw you under the bus. Thanks for shipping all that back over to China.
I love this.
But when they were produced in the United States, they still flew straight.
Correct.
When they went to China, they no longer flew straight.
What
Now, the
happened,
blade-
Nick?
Oh, I don't know. They started producing them in a trash factory, but
Toilet factory.
yeah, there's a lot that goes. Yes,
Because the ferrule's the spine
The design.
of the broadhead.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
It's the center plate. And you know, even though the blades are, or you can take this and you spin it, and this grind may not be perfect. This grind's not going to affect anything.
No, it means zero.
It's all this aerodynamic. It's
Yeah,
all
I
how
was just gonna
this
say
turns,
aerodynamics.
and it's not pushing your arrow left and right as it's turning
Mm-hmm.
because it's got wobble in it.
the entire thing spins on axis.
Yeah. So and because they're all the same, whether you put hide blades in here, Jekyll blades in here, turkey raker blades in here, whatever, they all have the same end profile.
Yep.
They're all cutting the wind the same way. And so that's why they fly so good. And so, you know, when we tell people, you know, 4 grains, 2 grains, 5 grains, we get people all the time. Well, I weighed my broadheads and they're 3.6 grains difference between the 6. Okay, great. Awesome. There's not a person on the planet that can tell the difference. Trust me, it ain't you either. And it sucks. It sucks because
Einstein.
it's hard.
Einstein over here.
It's hard to tell customers that because they've been told so many times by people,
Who?
influencers,
Okay.
that this is important, and it's great. You want to minimize things, and I get that part 100%.
Yeah.
But we have to be real in what the average consumer can do. An average consumer is not going to buy 7 dozen arrows and go through and find 12 that are matched.
Right.
They're not going to buy 500 vanes and go find the 36 that work.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
that weigh
Yeah.
the exact same amount. They're
Well,
not going to
that-
find, because there's variables. We have a variable in screws. Okay. A little set screw can weigh the difference of 1 grain. The set screw.
Yeah.
Okay. You have 2 blades. You have 3 screws. You have a ferrule. And you have the other main blade. So you have all that, and you're trying to do 1 or 2 grains. 1 or 2 grains, nobody is ever going to see.
Yeah.
5 grains you're not going to see. 10 grains you're not going to see.
No, when you start talking about when you actually take it out and you go, okay, well, what's the average arrow weight? Now, I run a heavier arrow than most.
Let's say
anybody.
450.
Yeah, 450 is a nice number. Let's just go down to 400 even, right? Nice, simple number.
Yeah.
1% variance is 4 grains. Are your shots 1% variable?
Brother. I'm good. Yeah.
Right. No, and in all honesty, at 20 yards, you're 10% variable, right?
Yeah.
You shoot a 2-inch group, you're happy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So you're not going to see the 1% variable, not even close.
Such an important point in all of that.
It is. I used to nerd out about that shit, but then I'm like, why am I worrying about this? That's just more shit going on in my head that I'm worried about.
Shoot your bow.
I don't need to worry about 1 or 2 grains.
No.
I don't need to.
And you'll never see it.
Yeah,
Never see it.
there's a project that I know, I'm sure a lot of people have been following along with, that Easton did with Tyson Yates and some of the other guys at the Easton Center, shooting out of a shooting machine I might know a thing or two about. And
I love that shit.
And you watch what they're shooting, and in theory, if everything was so perfect, every arrow they would shoot would break the previous one, right?
Split the other arrow.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Let's split the other arrow.
And it never did.
And it never did. I mean, they broke some arrows for certain. They shot thousands of shots.
Yeah.
But in theory, you should have every arrow just breaking the next arrow.
It should be the Robin Hood and all.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
And that is out of, I promise you, the most accurate shooting machine existing on the planet. There's too many variables.
Such a good
Do you
point.
know this for a fact?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Hey, you seen me shoot? That's it.
It's such a good point, man. I will tell you, I feel like, so I used to be that way when we first started the podcast, knowing less and killed less and had less hunting experience and less archery experience than I do now.
Just because what we heard.
And I worried about it.
You were trying to maximize your effectiveness.
I was trying to
100%.
I was trying to be real into it.
Correct.
Especially eager to learn in my early mid-20s, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the older I've gotten, I've become less concerned with minute little details that don't really make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. Know my shit to where I need to know it, use shit that works, and practice shooting.
Right.
And I've been way more efficient.
Exactly what I just said.
Killed more stuff.
Yeah.
I've been actually probably
If you start taking all
100%
the-
more efficient.
Yeah, you take that shit out of your
And
head
I
right.
feel like
Be
I'm
my
a better
age.
shot. Yeah.
and learn that stuff. It's like, yeah,
When
you
we
are.
get when we
You're a
get
better
down
shot.
this
You're a better
road,
shot because it's less shit you're worrying about.
Right.
when we get down this conversation here throughout the afternoon,
I'm
here,
going to need another drink.
oh, we're gonna need 2 or 3.
You can get up at any time and
Okay,
get your drink.
I'm going.
It's no
What do you
problem. It's
think?
no problem.
Okay.
But
There are variables.
Dale, before we get up the broadhead thing, I want to do this.
Okay.
We believe as WCB, we believe in the evolution head so much at this point. We don't have a ton of experience shooting animals with them, but we do have experience shooting animals with them.
That you'll shoot them for free. Awesome.
No, we want to do that.
Nice try, though.
We have to feed. We have kids to feed.
Oh,
Dale,
yeah,
you
there's
have
that.
our kids to feed.
Awesome.
WCB would like to purchase 2 packs with our own money for giveaways. One in Instagram comments when this episode goes up.
Yes, sir.
And one in Spotify comments. And just comment, and WCB will purchase 2 packages and we'll of your choice, and
Of
we'll
your
ship them
choice
to
of
you.
heads, yep.
So
Okay.
3 weeks,
can do that.
within 3, we'll do 3 weeks after this launches to get people caught up. We'll do 1 giveaway on Instagram in the comments and 1 giveaway on Spotify in the comments.
Yes, sir.
And we'll send out 2 packages. That's
Okay.
how much we believe. We'll buy our listeners 2 packs.
That works.
So hopefully that's.
And you have to comment that you're a new user.
Well, everyone's going to comment that now.
Well, but the odds are higher.
We
'cause
know if you are.
How about this? How about this?
he will know if you are.
Yeah.
Make a comment pertaining to this episode.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then we'll
make
pick-
a comment that you
listened at least.
Yeah, you listened. And say something that we said.
Yeah. It could be anything. Or you can say Doug's gay as hell.
Yeah.
This could be
just
yours.
Put that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug's gay. This could be yours.
This could be yours.
Doug only has his mustache to attract.
Yeah,
gay
yeah,
men.
yeah. I knew you were going to say that. While he's holding up a penetrating item.
Hey, hold on. Before Dale goes to get a drink and we talk about we're going to talk about the releases, but I want you, Doug, to give your best Whitetail Fury promo with your mustache to this camera before Dale goes and mixes a new drink.
Holy shit.
Put him on the spot.
No pressure.
Dude, come on. You look good. Just be confident, man. Be confident in your product.
Feel good.
Just give
Remember, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you look good doing it.
Just give us a testimonial. By the way, Doug does not like to be put on the spot, obviously.
I need more time to think. But
Nah, dude, off the top.
My favorite's the Whitetail Fury.
No, look at the camera.
My favorite's the Whitetail Fury right here.
No, restart. Hold on. This is old school outdoor channel TV promo.
Oh, yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Here, hey,
All right, ready?
you can go with I trust my life too. Yeah. You want to try that one? You can go to I trust my life too.
You can hear it.
Now Jim might be mad at me for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's.
Hey guys, this is Doug from Working Class Bow Hunter, and this is my new favorite broadhead, the Whitetail Fury from Evolution. I trust this thing with my life. I'd use it in home defense even on people.
On people.
That's way better than
people. That's better than what I could have come up with.
Home intruders.
Home intruders beware. Okay, saying that, I would hate to be shot by one.
Yeah,
That's a whole different
I'd rather be shot than a fucking
Me too.
a TSS turkey load.
For sure.
Just die from hemorrhage.
Dude, oh God.
I trust my life. Home intruders. Varmints.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a drink.
That just makes me think about the poor feller last weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck, man. We should probably give some
Yeah, we should.
moment
Hey,
of
I got something for that.
Okay, we'll wait for Dale to get back.
We don't have to do a moment of silence.
For home
The young
intruders.
man is doing fine.
He's doing
Thank God.
good. He's doing
Yep,
good.
He's doing good, and
Unfortunate archery.
he's excited to get a left-handed bow, so that's good news.
He was like he owned a pro shop or something, didn't he? Or did he?
I don't know if he owns a pro shop. I don't
was
know his
involved with
personal
one.
details deeply, but he's involved with the pro shop. Well known.
I must have missed this.
I missed it as
Yeah,
well.
he got.
So-
we'll save.
Okay.
I don't know what to say or not say. It would be respectful, but
Yeah,
he was at an archery event and accidentally got shot.
yeah.
But he's alive. And
Yeah,
he's gonna live.
of course, the details I have aren't direct from him, but let's just say that there was some miscommunication issues. Obviously, massive.
Some wind. I heard a lot of wind.
A lot of wind. The one thing the one thing that I have heard from any situation, I'll say to anything in any range you're ever at, if the safe word is X, do not involve X in your it's not safe.
Yes.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Whatever that.
Man, I feel like it really did bad on my commercial right there. Bad timing.
Home intruders are different than shooting.
Home
at a
intruder.
range.
Home intruder. Yeah, no, it was more Dale talking about because in my
And
head I was thinking
bears.
the same thing. I wouldn't want to get shot by the thing.
Yeah, but there's
yeah,
no
no.
moment he's alive. But
Yeah,
there was a big accident.
Luis is he's doing well, recovering well. He's actually excited to get a new bow, and
So
yeah, we want
Is
to
he
definitely.
getting a new bow?
Well,
So I'm gonna
I think
say
one way or
this.
the other, this industry needs to come through and
I'm
make
gonna
sure
say
him
this.
and his family.
I
Are,
have
100%.
a left-handed lift at home, custom made for me, that I will give to him.
Okay.
I think we need to get that on social like right away.
I don't know where. Yeah, we need to get that out
right now.
Here, we'll do this.
So yeah, so it is sitting there, and I have had people, they come in, they try to lowball you for something and whatever. And it's like, I would rather give it to somebody who needs it.
Yeah, definitely. If he's the good thing is he's alive.
He's alive.
He's okay. It's not a great situation, but for what the situation he's in, it's the best case scenario for
Correct.
what I've understood.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
thinking about you, dude, that sucks because
100%.
it's all stuff we enjoy.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
the most unfortunate circumstance you could be in.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about it. I know some details, but I don't know how true it is, so I don't even want to talk about it. So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
just thinking about you, brother.
So if we have something that we can throw out, if you can cut a video or whatever out of this, that
Yeah.
we can throw out right away, then he can reach out to us at Evolution Outdoors, and we will get that bow shipped to him. It will come with sight, rest, stabilizers, ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready out of the box.
I don't know for certain his socials, but you can tag Barefoot Archery down there, Jeff
Yeah.
Cordero.
Okay. We'll try and get that out, or at least get some info out here, but we should be able to get that clip. We'll cut that.
Yep.
either way, I'm sure there's a ton of people wanting to help him, which, you know,
I'm sure there are.
He's an archery
Yes.
brother.
Yeah.
We,
No, for sure.
hope the best for those guys. But yeah, unfortunate deal, but for what happened, we're lucky. So
Yes, 100%.
from my understanding, he got shot. It exited through his eye.
Correct.
Yeah.
He lost,
shit.
lost his
Went
eye.
through his temple, the left temple came out right orbital area.
Yeah, crazy dude. So
Oh wow.
he's alive.
Yeah.
So we're good. We're good. All right. We're gonna do that broadhead giveaway. One on Instagram and one on
Facebook.
Spotify. So you just comment something related. Call Doug gay.
Tell me how much you love my commercial.
Maybe not call him gay because it might get hidden from the Instagram comments and Spotify.
Yeah, just talk about how great I am.
How handsome he is.
Yeah.
Go with that.
Thank you, Dad.
Did you like
Doug
his
is
plug or
handsome.
not?
Yes.
I personally,
pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was great.
My favorite part was the turn.
Yeah.
The turn was there.
You got to come in hot.
Hi there.
Hey, I'm
You got to
Doug.
come out of camera.
You think I'm going to say something funny? I'm not. This is serious.
This is a serious situation.
Okay. All right.
People.
Broadheads talk is we're good on that.
We're
think.
good. I believe we're good.
I
Yep.
feel confident in it.
Yep.
We're going to use those heads, everything. I'm going to use them on moose,
Yep.
everything. So
We're gonna be using them here in a couple weeks. So
Yes.
by the time this launches, we'll already be there. But
hopefully we're using them. You think the Jekyll on moose?
I would shoot the hide.
Hide all day.
Yeah,
The hide.
The hide. I personally always have a Jekyll in my quiver. And because if you make a shot or, you know, and as we know, shit happens and whatever, and you're not making a clean kill and that animal lays down, they're going to lay in brush. It's hard to get a mechanical broadhead through brush.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
So I always carry a Jekyll with me just in case I have to sneak something through, or if I'm in a situation where I'm in a spot and stock and it's coming through brush, then that's what I'm going to throw in my
yeah.
ready to go.
Okay.
little backup there.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. So,
Yeah.
all right, get entered in those giveaways. We're going to talk about the Evolution releases now.
Okay.
We got introduced at ATA to these and get to play with them. And there's 2 variations out now, and I'll just let you spit your game, and then we'll ask all the dumb questions after that.
your
Okay,
spiel.
that worked. So there's 2. There's the Ibex, which is our hinge style release. So no trigger, it's just a hinge. It pivots from the bottom here. As you open it, that's what closes it. It's super simple if you're a hinge style shooter. It's the first and only hinge that you can literally lock on your D-loop.
And leave. You can lock
And
it on your
you can
D-loop
lock
and
it on your
not-
D-loop. So if you're a stand hunter, ground blind, the last 10 yards of a stock, those are the things. If you hunt with a hinge, what do you do with your release?
This is the bow hunter's hinge.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in that, we tried to make it so it doesn't have an audible click. It has a feel click. And so you have this click that you feel, and it's a vibration. And so I've hunted with a hinge for the last 5 years, but I've always had that click, and I've been busted in the whitetail tree stand when it goes click and the deer and look back at me because they heard it. Mm-hmm. So I tried to eliminate that. In that, it also gives you the ability to reset the release. So you can go over the click and then reset it back over and start over or let down. So those are the things that...
Does that exist on the market?
No, it's the only one that's ever done that.
Okay.
So it's got... I think there's 5 different patents pending on it right now.
So how does
So-
it happen?
What does that... All right. What does that mean? All right. Because...
Patents pending.
I don't really...
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't even know. But like, how is there
Okay.
5 patents on it?
So,
Like, pending on it?
So we filed for different things. We filed for the way that operates, where you can lock it on your D-loop.
Mm-hmm.
We patented where it pivots on the bottom side of it. We patented where there's no audible click.
Okay.
We patented where you could reset
You
the
could
click.
patent on the
Yes.
sound of it?
Yes.
You can patent anything you want.
Doug's mustache. You get a patent on that.
Patent on
fucking
that.
Can you patent
Nobody
a
can
fart?
run that. Huh?
Can you patent a fart?
I guess if it was unique.
Prior art.
But there is prior art.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So, and then there's a couple other things. So those are the main ones. And so in that,
Does They're your patent pendings on
They're
this.
my patent pendings on this.
Okay,
Yes.
that's where I was confused. I was like, someone else is trying to get these that you did it.
So when I came up with the concept and we did a prototype and we did all that stuff and we said, okay, this is what we're going to build and these are the things that it does. Then we filed for our patents.
I got you. Okay.
Okay, so
I'm done with this stuff, so I had to ask that because
it's yeah, and so just like we have patents on the broadhead. Okay, we have the way the broadhead locks. Okay, which is super consistent, locks every time. You don't have to screw with it, and we also patented the multi-use ferrule. So using one ferrule to switch between all the blades. So we own a patent on that. So there's been other companies that have come out with other products that do that. They can no longer do that.
I got you. Okay.
We own the patents on those.
Right. Okay.
So in this, there's those patents. So in patent pending, it's not like you call the patent office and say, this is what we got, and they look it up. It takes years.
They'll just write you a certificate that day and be like,
yeah, you're good. I'm here.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah. So then they send it to a person, and then that person looks it up, and then they send it back to your patent attorneys, and then the patent attorneys file. Okay, well, this is what we meant, and there's like, well, clarify this, and this is what we're talking about, and do all this stuff, and all this is super fun because it super costs money.
Oh my
God,
God.
it sucks.
It sounds so gay.
It sucks.
That sounds so dumb.
Yeah, it takes like 3 years to get the patent pending.
Yeah.
And then we have a year.
Of patent pending.
And then we're at a year.
Yeah.
So in that
patent
time,
pending, and then when it's no longer pending, you own the patent.
Correct. Once you are, they say, okay, got it. Yep. There's nothing else like it. You did it. Blah blah blah. They send you a provisional patent. I mean, not a provisional, but a utility patent.
Okay. This might be a dumb question.
There's never a dumb question.
I've heard it's better to just be in patent pending than just to own the patent.
No.
Okay, that was wrong. Whoever told me that was fucked up.
So once you get to the patent pending part, is that when you can start releasing
Patent
it
pending is when I can show it to everybody else. Correct.
You can start selling it and stuff.
So it used to be years and years ago, if you had an idea, you could put it in a certified envelope and mail it to yourself and not open that envelope. Okay? And then somebody else came up with that concept a couple years later. You could go to the patent office and say, I have a sealed envelope. This is what my patent is. And you would get it.
Just because you never opened, you had that.
Because
prior.
you had the prior idea and do that. Now, that's not the case. Now it's first to file. So if you said, Dale, I got this awesome idea, blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's awesome, Eric. And I went and filed it, it would be mine. Which sucks.
AKA every drama in the tree stand industry is what that is right there.
Correct. And so it is now first to file. So when I file,
in the lit knock industry.
Oh yeah, and in the broadhead world,
Can't wait to dive into Nick
patents.
here.
Yeah.
Nick, drink a few more of the. We're getting to Nick.
We're getting to Nick in a minute. So
you really want to open the filing cabinet, don't you?
Yes,
I want it all.
Anger's coming out. So yeah, and the thing about patents is they suck because you got to defend them.
And it costs you money to defend them.
It costs money to defend them. And most of the time you're defending them against people that don't...
Are idiots.
Yeah, okay. But we're just saying that they don't, they're not going to... They want to fight or they want to do this. And so you sign a, non-disclosure type of thing. It's like, okay, you won't make this anymore, end of discussion, blah, blah, blah. And no bad-mouthing, no this, no that. You just won't do it anymore. So, trust me, there's a few of those out there on that broadhead.
Okay, let me ask you this. Before we get into the release details, because I think this is cool info for listeners that buy shit in the hunting industry, because the consumer is who our listener is.
Correct.
And I think it's cool for them to know a little bit of the inside baseball of it. Like, is there a ton of patent drama in hunting? Or I'm sure it's all business, all industry, everything. Or is it not? Is it? Because to me, what I've heard about the tree stand involvement we had, and so it's so bad that it doesn't even seem fucking worth the headache. Is it that way across everything, across all niches, golf, tenant?
100%.
It's that 100%. Bad everywhere?
Yeah. But that being said, there are a few of us, like I said, about helping other manufacturers get broadheads going and helping with flaws and helping.
Yeah.
You can patent this, you can patent that. And trust me, I've had a bunch come to me and I say, patent this. If you're going to patent anything, patent this.
I got
Because
you.
I haven't seen this before.
You have the experience to tell them, hey, if you're going to lean
I know
into
if you're going to do anything, this is what you're going to do.
And you've seen everything.
And I've seen a lot because I've done a ton of research. Right. I know how to maneuver through the patent office. I file all my own provisionals. So a provisional is, I have this idea, this is what I got going, blah, blah, blah. I send it in, and I actually, right now, I'm helping 2 other people file their provisionals.
For broadhead stuff?
No, not for broadhead stuff, for other stuff.
Yeah.
So, but in that, you have a year. Now I have a year of being able to develop, to give it to you, to show people, to get that going before I actually have to file my actual patent.
Okay, for your patent pending.
So at that point, it's patent pending. At that point, it's patent pending.
Okay. Once you file your
once
provisional.
I file provisional, it's patent pending.
Okay.
And then when I file my actual utility patent, that's when I hire an attorney to say they do all the mumbo jumbo writing and this and that and the therefores and the whereases and everybody's read a contract.
So the patent pending is kind of like, okay, you show it to people.
I got a year.
You're kind of
I got a
scaring
year
people
to
like, hey,
screw
I'm already
around.
coming out with this. Like,
Yes,
don't try and do this.
But
So then,
to clarify
at
on
that
that,
point-
just because you filed doesn't mean you're going to make it to the patent pending stage.
True.
Yes, just because you filed your provisional.
There can be numerous changes required or pure rejection.
Yeah, they can kick you out
before you get to that point.
From the patent office. Hey, you
Correct.
need to do this or this or show us this.
this,
or
this is
Correct.
prior
What a
art,
motherfucking
pre-existing,
headache.
whatever.
Yeah, and then once you
And
file
it's
your
expensive.
utility patent, then you're still under patent pending until you either get rejected and or they give you your patent.
Is there an average price that you guys are aware of in the hunting realm of like what it costs to like file for a patent pending or patent?
Average? I'd 10.
10
grand.
10 grand to try it.
To try it. To
maybe-
but and you
to
can
see if it's
spend your
patent-
10 grand and still get
And
denied.
still not get it. Oh, yeah.
Let's say you have an idea, you have zero competition. Very rare. I have 3 patents that I filed that just went through, and they were ironically the first 3 I ever filed, and I was like, "Oh, patents are easy. Why am I not doing more of this?" First 3 files, it cost me $3,600 each.
$3,600 each.
Yeah, and we were 2 patent completed in 18 months, and I was like, "What are you
Easy
talking
peasy.
about? This isn't hard."
Sounds like you just brush hogged a path through it and got it in.
I have 3 right now that
No,
are
it was in a
ongoing.
category that you didn't have any competition.
No
in.
competition.
Oh.
I have 3 ongoing right now that are over 4 years.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that's so intimidating.
it's crazy.
So once
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of it's just the most ridiculous because the biggest thing you got to realize, and it's a give and a take on both sides, because when you file for a patent, it's not just like I'm filing for this guy. No, you're going to file for this.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out what gets rejected.
Yeah,
Because Dale, you were saying there was 5 on the IBEX,
we'll probably get 4 of them.
Yeah.
and so if one, that's just
If they don't accept that, we just take that language out. They'll send
Yeah.
back and they'll say, these 4 are good in our language because you have different things that you're claiming. They're called claims. Basically.
Yeah, okay.
And you're claiming different things. So if they say claim 4, nah, there's already shit out there that does that. Then you
I
take
have
claim
one that
4
has
out.
23.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
23 claims.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you, I'm sorry to get off on this. I just kind of feel
No,
like it's important
it's
for the
cool
listener.
because
I've
the
never talked
consumer
about
doesn't
it.
see any of this.
No.
They never talk about this.
And you hear about it, but you don't get all the details on
Right.
it.
So in the 5, say you get 4, you just don't. So is there like, or if you don't claim the patent on it, it just means you can use that technology, and then the competitor can use the technology of it.
Yeah, so if I don't get it, if I get 1 through 4, and at 5 they say no, there's already prior art. So if there's a patent on it, then I have to remove that part from my product.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
If there's not a patent on it, but there's already other products that do that, then I'm good.
I got you. Okay.
I'm good. So the weird thing is,
Fucking stressful.
so this is what's coming.
So, by the way, the listener, this is why it takes so fucking long to get you what you want.
And sometimes why some things cost a little more than you realized because of
there's $100,000.
yeah,
$100,000
have
patent
hundreds of thousands
jargon.
of dollars.
yeah.
Yeah.
then it circles,
patent jargon and this bullshit.
Crazy.
and then it circles around to everyone wants a new product every year. It's like, well,
Yeah.
the bullshit you gotta go through to come around with the product every year.
Yeah.
So this is the crazy shit.
I didn't even think about this.
In this patent thing, okay, we filed something. We have one of the things that's in our patent, and since then there's been a product that came out that infringes on that patent.
Since you filed.
But we don't own the patent yet, so we can't do anything
Because
about
you're
it.
pending still.
Correct. So if we get awarded the patent, then we have to go to that company and say, you can't do that.
Yeah.
After they already been
or we
doing
need to
it for
work
a
with
while.
you, and they've already
Oh,
They're
been through
already
this.
selling the shit.
Oh
or
yeah,
they're doing whatever.
absolutely.
So they're selling without a patent pending.
Yeah.
so if this isn't patent pending, I can make the exact same thing. Gosh.
Until
So there's the company out there.
Until I get my patent.
But see,
I
here's the
still make my money
caveat.
until you tell me to stop. I'm like, all right, yeah,
Correct.
I'll stop.
Correct.
Here is
You're paying back.
and that's
back taxes,
that,
bitch.
whether to say good or bad, that's the proper viewpoint to take on it. Is
100%.
all right. I've got 2 years to make all the dough I
To
can. with
fucking
this.
make everything I can, then say,
Because-
okay, I'm good.
And then you can do that though. You don't have to pay back.
No,
Daily got me.
It all
Because it
depends.
wasn't.
I'm out.
It wasn't patent pending.
It
at
was
the
patent
time.
pending, but it was available for them to see because it's published. But yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, it's a give and a take, and,
It's a give and a
Dale's
take.
just trying not to screw us over.
Hey,
but the
guys.
fact is, you can do this.
You want to be an entrepreneur that makes products?
Yeah.
Listen,
That's
to this
what I
pod.
go a 2-year signal.
That's like
Yes.
a warning then, patent
That-
pending.
yes. And
Don't
you have
fuck
to
with
tell
me.
people.
Yeah.
You have to tell people.
You have to tell
You have
people
to
all
have
the
it on
time.
your website. Once you get a patent, you have to publish that on your website. You have to tell them that this is a patent item.
Yeah, like in trademarks. Like
even if-
I'm assuming.
even if I see
your hat
this,
is trademarked, right?
I could
You can
still
still
make
build
it.
that.
And
So I go,
you
oh,
understand all the
it's
trademark
pending.
side of it.
Yeah, it's
To a point,
pending.
we have
Does it have a number on
a
it?
trademark attorney.
Yeah.
Shit.
We've had a trademark
That is-
attorney that has sent cease and desist on our behalf.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That has happened.
It's quite possible we all have the same attorney.
I know
mean,
we
maybe.
have the same attorney,
We have.
our guy.
And he's mean.
and he's really good.
I got referred to our guy because he has worked with hunting brands.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's crazy to me.
We've sent cease
What
and
I will
desist.
tell you is he has ties to you locally and us locally together.
Oh. If it could be the same fucking dude, I don't know.
But it's a
So that's
the
just a
patent-
warning.
That is a statement based on yes, it is patent pending.
That's what I said. The patent pending is kind of like a warning. Hey,
Yep, we
Don't
got
copy this.
stuff.
yeah.
So we're gonna come
Gosh,
after
I
you
don't like that
if
at
you
all.
do.
The one really cool caveat to all of this now is prior art always wins.
Correct.
And when you go down through, there's certain patents, I mentioned
That are awarded.
that are awarded. There are patents that have been awarded again in the lit knock industry, in the knock side, which is we are the largest knock manufacturer in the world. There are patents that have been awarded to certain individuals on products that art has existed since the 50s.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when you try to come to me, and he has come to me with, I have this patent, and I go into my closet and pull out something my grandfather created in 1964, and I'm like, yo, dude,
Yeah.
you didn't do your homework. Well, the patent attorney approved it. Do you need the manufacturing dates? I have cases.
Yeah. Do you want to open that back up?
because
Nobody
they couldn't
did their
do it.
homework,
Right.
And not to throw the approval dude under the bus, but nobody did their homework, and that comes with our niche industry.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's a niche. Anything's going to be tough. on
correct.
that.
And it's tough on that niche side, but there are patents in this side, and Knox I will stand firm on Knox are the hardest because nobody filed a patent back then. This isn't like Hoyt. You guys have you gotten to go into Hoyt's hallway yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right, when you go down Hoyt,
There's a wall.
there is a wall
That
of their
big.
patents. It's really cool
patents
because
on
my
it.
grandfather's name is on a handful of them that he was so nice to give to them and not collect a penny on. But
Don't.
No
But,
one hear this.
There's patents
So-
out there. Well, go ahead.
yeah,
Finish up.
there's so much that's already occurred in our industry. And again, when I say we go through these 7-year cycles, or somebody comes along, they're like, I got this new idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and there,
It's not that
maybe, as Dale said, due to better manufacturing, that's now applicable. But we tried that already. It doesn't work. It's not new.
Yeah.
Right.
I field
right.
5 of those calls a month.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really ever a new idea anymore.
Well, and anybody that's we're
down to 1 out of 25. How about that?
But that being
All right.
said,
I'll do that.
everything's a variation of something.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been thought of.
And that's the whole thing. It's and people say
I can think of an example right now, but I won't do it.
I have people
I'll spare us.
So perfect example is
curious.
if people come to me and they say, I have this idea. What's it worth? All I want is 30%. Nick and I were talking about this today. And it's like, understand what an idea is worth. Okay. An idea is worth maybe 1%. That's what an idea is worth. Because if you came to me and said, Dale, I have this idea. I want to build this. And I want 30%. The first thing I would tell you is, that's awesome. I love the idea. Do it yourself. Because
you know what it takes to get it
we
done.
just talked about patents. We just talked about, or we didn't talk about prototyping, which is crazy expensive.
Crazy expensive.
Okay.
One-off
We didn't
shit.
talk about production. We didn't talk about packaging. We didn't talk about sales. We didn't talk about
Marketing.
Marketing. All that stuff. It's easier for me to just say, do it yourself.
Yeah.
So in the real world, these are real numbers. And I hope the listeners hear this, because these are real words, because our industry lives off of ideas. A great idea is worth 1% to 2% max. A working prototype is worth 3 to 5% max. A production value prototype that is like, this is work, we can take this production, we just have to tweak it, is worth 5 to 10% max. But if you have that product, I'm going to tell you, you're nuts not to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You've already
Because
spent
you've
all the
already
money.
spent all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're 3/4 of the way there.
You're there.
Oh, you're
just-
halfway there.
Yeah, you're quarter
As
of
a
the way there.
manufacturer, you're quarter
Because-
to halfway there.
Because just like
But
me,
you've
when I
already, your
first started-
investment's too deep.
Yeah,
Right,
your
right.
investment's too deep. You're not going to get that money back.
Yeah.
Because now you're talking about, all the things on the manufacturing side that you have to do. Now, that number gets very large very quick. And it's hard to keep up with those numbers. When I first launched Gravedigger and I did all that stuff, it was like I was working a full-time job and I was doing this and I was taking this money and giving it to this money and and doing all that stuff. And I had guys in my garage building broadheads and friends, hey, come on over, I'll give you free broadheads, come on over and build shit, so
You want to drink beer?
so yeah you like beer, we're good. So
All the beer
that,
and pizza you can get.
yeah. So all that stuff is how small companies get going. That's Josh Smith. I mean, he built stuff in his garage. Look at him now, Montana Knife Company. So all these companies, that's how we all get started. And so if you are somebody that has an idea and understand, it takes a lot to get to retail.
Yeah, and I to extend on this conversation is what we were talking about before. They got to understand that, especially in the outdoor industry, unless you are a DTC, direct to consumer, which if you're DTC, you should have already gone through that. I'm at T1 prototype, and I'm ready to go to market.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you're taking that to yourself.
Right.
But again, if I'm at T1 prototype, now I need you to take it from my hands and bring this to life where it's worth 5%, because as a manufacturer, we have to generally, and it's sad to say because there's so many free programs out there that let you create a model. Dale's learned this the hard way with me in recent times.
I do all my own prototyping right now.
Yeah, he's doing all his own prototyping. He's doing a lot of his own CAD work. But there's free CAD programs. And, I mean, it's the facts of the matter. When we got together,
100%.
I wasn't even a manager in my company. Or no,
You
I was.
just became a manager.
I just became a manager in my company, but I did the engineering for him for free on my own personal time because I was passionate about the project.
Yeah,
He didn't have to pay any of that. And he got T1 level engineering on SolidWorks because I loved
me. because I'm super handsome.
You're that
No,
cool.
I had
That cool.
I can see it. I can see
Not,
it.
I don't know the porn star thing.
I love
but-
Dale because he gave me free golf lessons.
there we go.
No, actually, we went down the previous conversation about do you trust the connection with the animal?
Yeah.
And I had gone through a 3-year roll of I had lost a bull, I'd lost a deer, I'd been through a horrible, and I landed on fixed blades with Slick Tricks being the most, at the time, 2011 accurate fixed blade available. I had done a complete rundown of accurate fixed blades, shot my biggest archery bolt to date still to this day with a fixed blade, with a Slick Trick. And then Dale came to me with his head, and I was so passionate about the project because I knew there had to be better answers.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm not the greatest idea guy, but what I am is give me a napkin sketch and I get a light bulb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what a lot of us are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But for me, it was like, okay, I see, and at that point, Dale already had Gravedigger. It was just in China, but I needed to bring it to the U.S. and say, oh, no, I can do this way better, and here's why. Because it's going to cost you more money.
Was way better.
But here's what I know
yeah,
about manufacturing as a machinist and being a lathe.
Savant.
Yeah, thank you.
Savant.
Yeah.
Lathe God.
Round work is in my blood.
If you were a rapper, your name would be Lathe God.
Yeah.
Little Lathe
I don't want to pat myself on the
bottom
back.
of his tombstone. Lathe
Yeah.
Savant.
Yes.
Savant.
Especially back then, 2010 to 2015, I was the lathe
Yeah,
god.
he was the guy.
We have at the time one of only 3 machines in the United States that could do what it could do, and I was the only non-Okuma employee who could program it on. I was really the only guy who could program it on the fly. The Okuma employees thought I was insane. They hired me. It's one of those machines. I still own it to this day. It produces these end caps. It produces. We have over 700 components we've produced off of it. It's one of those parts where it's
700 different components.
Different
Not
components.
just 700.
No,
because that
700
would
different.
suck.
Yeah, we've crossed
different components.
I think we're just crossed the 8 million cycle mark on it.
Yeah.
8 million cycles.
Yeah. And well,
That's
it's over
crazy.
20. It's crazy for me to think actually because it dates back to my first marriage. First machine I signed the paperwork for the day I walked out to go get married, the first time.
The Kuma.
Yeah, 2005, May 4th, 2005.
Then he got divorced and the machine burned up.
That was a different
Then
machine.
it was different machine.
Don't burn this machine up, Dale.
Are those related?
No.
Like, wait a minute.
No.
What are the coincidences
What are the
here?
quick unique of that?
Back to
Caught
it.
on fire.
Yeah, no. Well, we did have a machine catch on fire.
Yeah, I didn't-
Bringing it up, Dale.
I know. It was horrible.
Well,
I felt-
it's a
it
raw
was-
wound.
It is. It's very raw.
I was actually in Pennsylvania at the Lancaster shoot at as most people know, I'm a golf enthusiast, obsessive freak, and we were at a golf simulator at 9:00 at night on a Saturday in Pennsylvania, and I get a call not from my alarm company, not from an employee, from the fire department.
Oh shit!
Your sprinkler pump is on. Oh,
Not good.
fuck.
I mean, if anything, it worked out the best catastrophe it could be.
Oh, worst best situation ever.
Yeah, 100%. If all those sprinklers went off in AAE, we're screwed. Everybody.
Everybody's screwed.
It's all gone.
Well, because you watch, and now you don't test your sprinklers.
Yeah, it's not like you turn them on and run them.
Yeah.
Oh, and they inspect them once
Right now,
every.
I have 65,000 square feet with $25-30 million in equipment. Okay, you don't test your sprinklers.
No.
Okay, put the tarps out.
Yeah, everybody grab an umbrella.
Everybody hold an umbrella.
Now, we have a 7,800 gallon auxiliary tank that we use for molding operations. That's also our sprinkler primary. And when that pump turns on,
watch out.
It doesn't shut off.
Just start crying.
Yeah.
I've seen sprinklers go off.
Well, yeah, you
And
all
it's
watch.
wild.
You all watch every movie,
Yeah.
whatever.
It
Yeah, I'm gonna
floods.
put up, at the high school, and
Yeah,
they
put
don't
it out.
think what they just
The
destroyed.
goal is to put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole building goes.
The whole building.
And all I'm seeing is all these electronics just gone.
If that would have happened,
Tens of millions of dollars of inventory and knocks and veins and you name it. I mean, guys, we produce products in every manufacturing realm you could think of.
we would have both been out of business.
Oh, my insurance company.
How bad was it when it like
The sprinkler system worked exactly perfect.
It went over that machine.
That sprinkler above the machine popped, put the fire out in the machine. That was it. No damage.
It was crazy.
Just that one.
That was it.
That one. It worked exactly the way it was supposed to.
100% to the T. It was the worst thing that happened is we had,
goddamn give that fucking company a plug.
Yeah.
well, what's fun? You got to realize.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
I won't even talk about it because they don't like our system.
That's not
My
how it's
insurance
designed
company
to do,
tells-
is it?
No, it is. It's what it's designed to do, and that's what's funny because when you watch,
Yeah. It is
they are
exactly-
designed because they're bulb sprinklers, right? So
Right.
it has to achieve 150 to 170
Heat
degrees
radius.
Yep.
to pop
To
that
pop
sprinkler,
it. Yep.
right?
But
So-
just that one, not all. Well, not if
Right.
one goes, they all go.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
when you see
Usually
that
most
whole
sprinkler
thing,
systems, when one breaks, they all kick loose.
right? And it didn't. Well,
That's
no,
what I'm
but
saying.
that's
It's not designed to just pop one.
well, no,
the way
it
it
is.
is.
It
Okay,
is.
that one
It
is.
is.
Okay.
Yes.
We're so used to the high school picture of the kid lighting toilet paper in
Yeah.
the sprinkler and light the whole
Oh,
building off.
they-
Right.
That's not how they're meant to work.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're not
Okay.
meant to go off till they get enough heat.
Right.
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 So,
But again, and I'm on the other side of the country, 2,500 miles away on a Saturday night, and I'm already multiple drinks enjoying my Saturday. Gonna go whack some golf balls.
like anyone else would
play
be.
golf, man.
Yeah.
Like we all would be.
Yeah, I'm going to
For
get
the
some
record,
golf balls.
I'm in
and
golf balls.
I don't get a call about anything except the fire department telling me your pump went off. We're going over there to find out what's going on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 'cause it
stressful
sends
next
them an
30
alarm,
minutes.
don't it?
Oh, well, thank God the fire department actually is physically across the street from our
Yeah,
facility.
literally, they are across the street.
So they got over there
That's good.
like, hey, dude, it's all good.
Yeah.
Just
Well, and my employee was on site. The whole thing. My employee, one of the best
He's awesome.
dudes you'd meet.
He's awesome.
Will work any hours. One of those just best,
He's awesome.
best humans.
Yeah.
Simple mistake. I made way worse mistakes. Way worse mistakes.
yeah.
This one, thank you. This is why we pay for insurance.
Yeah.
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 Because the machine cooked. In
Yeah,
5
it
minutes, the machine melted into nothing. Because we're cutting
It's cool.
stainless
There's
steel.
a broadhead stuck in the middle.
Yeah, we were making 125 grain barrels for a Dale.
Holy shit.
It's Dale's fault.
It's
You're
my
right.
fault.
Making parts for him.
It was Dale's fault. Damn it, Dale.
Damn it, Dale.
Damn it, Dale.
And
Do it for Dale.
yeah,
Burn
and
your shit down.
we all know stainless steel or steel wool is a fire starter, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you're cutting 2-3 thou small depth of cuts,
Steel wool.
A lot of
you made steel wool, and now you have a bundle of steel wool that is as big as a human shoved down into this chip pile,
Not good.
and coolant's not on, and instant heat, so it didn't create a fire; it just created this molten pile of steel.
Yeah. Crazy shit.
Almost worse because
You know how
instead of
many
being
times-
like live flame, what you have is 1,800 degrees.
Yeah.
You
well,
can't
lot.
put out. Yeah.
You know how many times I forgot to turn the coolant on?
Yeah, we all do it.
A ton.
We all do it. And if it was aluminum, if we were making 100 grains,
Yeah. It'd been good.
nothing would have
Break the
happened.
tool, you're fine.
It wasn't even broken tool. We'd have had a screwed up, funny looking
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So,
But because
Done
it
it
was
a
that
million
part,
times.
yeah,
Just because it was that material.
that
so
material.
but we are back up. We have a new machine. We're running. Everything's good.
53 years of business, we finally got to use that expensive ass insurance.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So no, it's awesome blossom. So
That's the
Okay,
one time
so
they
there we
talk
go.
about that you're glad you pay for insurance.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we all right.
We touched on it.
We're back to the IBEX.
Good job keeping us on track.
Squirrel.
The squirrel. Oh, touch the camera. Are we good? We're good. Okay.
I kind of dug a little bit.
I'm still here.
Yeah,
We're
come
all
on,
right.
Doug.
No, we're good. We're good. Okay.
Okay.
So
We're good.
yeah, the IBEX thing turned into a patent thing, which turned into fire,
Right.
which I feel was still all good
Yeah.
information.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a waste of. We didn't go but you talked about the IBEX details. I wanted to talk a little more of why it's complicated, and I feel like now people can respect the release and the broadheads more. Now that you damn near burned down the AAE shop,
Right,
Dale
right,
did.
right. We did that.
Dale
So-
damn near burned down the shop.
Damn it.
The money
So-
invested in patents on this release. So one of the only hinge operating release that clips to a D loop.
Correct.
That can be reset after the click.
Correct. As a non-audible click.
Non-audible click. It's a feel click.
Right.
Instead of, and to explain it,
right.
You feel it. It's not the click.
So it's not going to make noise in the field.
I felt it.
So
But
it's not going to make noise in the field. That's the biggest thing.
Right. There's not a machine groove on a
correct
half moon.
Correct. It's a dual moon, so you can adjust speed and all that stuff. So
okay.
So so in designing this product, the beginning goal was to design a hinge and a thumb release that hit the same place. That was the beginning goal.
And wouldn't fail.
It wouldn't fail. Okay. So in that, I knew I could design a thumb release. They're more simple, if you want to say.
Yeah.
So I started with the hinge. When I first started designing it, and I talked to people about it, and I talked to a lot of people about it, and I talked to him about it, and he looked at me and was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't shoot a hinge release, build it. So there was a iteration process, and I mean there were a bunch of them. I had pieces of I do a lot of 3D printing, to see form and function and all that stuff.
Right.
So we got through all those things. We built the first prototype at Reading. Not this last year, but the year before. We had it
23. First hinge prototype was 2023. 2024 we had it for sale.
Correct. 2024 we had it for sale. Correct. So in that we came out with that, and then I kept adjusting it until it actually worked. And then I was like, wow, this actually works. Because it was something that nobody's ever done, and it was something that I could believe in.
It's light.
So, well, you already got into the click.
See, I'm
more
back.
index finger. There you go. So you're already at the click already. I can see the hook.
I can
Reset it. So you reset it. Okay. No, you're good. There's the click. And there you're through.
That's in the mic. So
correct.
In the mic, and you barely heard it.
Yeah. So once this came out, once we established it, and once we started getting some traction with it, I then moved to the thumb button, which is called the Shadow, and I wanted it to design it so it matched or mimicked the Ibex in impact point and feel. Obviously it's a thumb button. It doesn't operate the same way, but it does have the same feel in your hand. It does, hit the same impact point. So you can drop between the two, because a lot of people want to hunt with and or practice with a hinge. But if it's windy, or they want to hunt with a button, they want to practice with a hinge and hunt with a button, or they want to hunt and do everything with a hinge, but if it's windy, they want to shoot a button. They can't do that because it's too hard to jump back and forth between the two.
Yep. Yep.
So now you can jump back and forth between the two. You can set, we did some different metals, what the sears are made of that won't fail. We have that clear one that we came out with last year. That release probably has over 10,000 shots.
That's
to it.
very cool, by the way, to see the inner workings.
That's awesome.
So you can see the inner workings. And so,
well, it helps you. For me, a guy who doesn't know, it helps you understand what's going on.
It's
what all
conceptual.
goes behind it.
Yeah. It's
not just
most
a
people
click.
haven't seen that.
No,
They have no idea what's inside of
It's
it.
just, they think it's just a click.
no.
Release.
And so in that, we just started building it and started playing with it and making it. And so it actually came together fairly quickly, probably 6 months. 6 months from conception to production.
That
right?
design did.
Yeah, that one did.
So, and again, when we talk about the idea and the inception of this product, to me, that product was numero uno, but Dale's a hinge guy, and he created the hinge first, already having that product in his head.
Yeah. Which is
because I knew I could make that. I didn't know I could make that. I didn't know I could make
Yeah,
that.
the Ibex was the question.
Yeah.
And that's
Was
where really
this going to work?
Yeah.
I see. I've never been a guy who shot a thumb button. I've always shot a high. It's been a back tension, but you don't draw it like a traditional handheld back tension.
Correct.
I really enjoy the feel and the function of the shadow.
Yes.
I'm a pussy. I'll admit it. With the Ibex, like I'm not used to it.
It's a 600 arrow commitment. I tell everybody that it's a 600.
That's
arrow
not true,
commitment.
Dale.
But guys,
Or there's certain people that can't. There's certain people that can't.
Shooting this.
The world knows me as who I am, and I can't shoot.
And you're good with
gun.
that.
yeah. So
Have a bow.
we took the Ibex to F6, like a premier bow shop down here, and we're all shooting, and they enjoyed it.
Okay.
Now they didn't go play with it and adjust it to their liking, but they could have. But they just shot it for how it was, the way we got it, and yeah, I like it's they first thing they commented on was the audible or
the non-audible,
the feel click versus the audible click. And that first they were like, "Oh, I didn't expect this," and then after they were like, "Yeah, I like it." I've never shot a thumb button. I know you've always shot a thumb button.
I've shot one for a long time. Yeah.
Jordan shoots a thumb button. What do you shoot, Doug?
Finger.
Just index style.
Index standard. Yep.
And but I feel like I'll like this coming from.
This seems more
or
comfortable.
at least I have shot.
And I've shot a bunch of them. I always go back to the same one, but I can see. I'm gonna practice with the ones you gave us, and
ergonomically,
I think it's gonna be awesome.
Is gonna be the button that everybody likes to put in their hand.
I think in the inline feel of it all.
Well, okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. So a standard button release, okay, that's a thumb button. The thumb button is offset from where the trigger is. Yes, it's a drop. It's either right-handed or left-handed. You can't pick up the barrel. Yeah, the barrel is. So you can't usually pick up a right-handed guy's release and shoot it left-handed because the barrel would be upside down. So in this, when I shooting the Ibex, my hand is in line. So everything's in line like a straight claw. Okay. So for a thumb button with an offset barrel, I was having to move my thumb out to the side. So it didn't feel natural to me. So even though 99% of the people, actually, let's rephrase that, 100% of the people shoot their thumb buttons that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So me being the guy that says, well, I don't like it that way, because I wasn't a thumb button guy. I was not a thumb button guy in any way, shape, or form until I made this and had to shoot 5,000 shots before he even came out to production. So I had to spend time behind the release.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found was I liked the button in line. So we're going to offer an inline button. It's a 3D printed button. It's nothing super special. It's not going to come with the shadow, but it's an inline button if you want to show it. And
yeah, that would be here. You have to talk so I can show it off because
so it's an inline button. So it's show it down the line of the release. It lines up directly, and so you can shoot it right-handed, left-handed. It won't matter. Same as the Ibex, and your fingers and your hands stay in line. So it becomes more natural of a shot process than trying to bring. So you see a lot of thumb releases that have extended thumb buttons out and they're way out to the corner and they're changing. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get it back in line with their thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're trying to push it back to. So with this design, it's automatically in line with your thumb.
Yeah, it's
and
just there already with the barrel back.
Correct. So you can shoot it like a hinge. And when you shoot a thumb button, you should not be pulling the barrel to the release. You should be pulling the release to the barrel. And so in that's what I've designed. And it'll be an aftermarket thing. We'll have it on the website. It'll be cheap, $15 probably. They're just 3D printed. I'm sure somebody out there, and I encourage it, get a shadow if you want to make bigger ones or smaller ones or different kinds of ones in the same process. We would love it.
There's going to be some mods coming from that for sure.
There's going to be a lot of people out there that have 3D printers, that have machine shops, that have whatever, and they're going to want to do that. And that's awesome. And I encourage that, actually.
It's kind of flattering if they're...
Because it's great for the end consumer, because the end consumer are going to find different things that they like, and they're going to ask for it. And if you let us know and you say, hey, I like this button, but I want it this way. Nick has already said that he wanted it a little bit bigger, come back into his hand a little bit further. then we can put it out there. And there's enough people out there that have more talent than I do, and they can 3D print stuff and make it for that. We're all for it. We really are.
It's a sexy fucking release, dude.
It is.
Like, I
never even thought of the inline button either.
I didn't either until I started shooting it. And then about 2,000 shots in, I'm like, I felt like my thumb was always on the edge of the barrel.
Let me tell you this story. I had a recent thumb button story. Rachel was in, our good friend Rachel. Rachel's, I don't know how fucking tall Rachel is. She didn't listen to this. I'm going to exaggerate and kind of try to offend her here. She's like, her and her husband are aunt and uncle to my kids. Like, that's,
okay.
We're that close.
Yeah.
I call her a bad, like, I always call her a bitch on the podcast. We have a bunch of girls that listen. We call them the bad bitches, WCB. Shout out to the girls.
Right.
And I was like, Kurt called you a bitch. She's like, no, I mean it with love. Like,
She's like a badass bitch.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm like, oh yeah, this bitch right here, I'm not calling you a bitch. I'm like, it's like the homie.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's like if we were all black, it'd be like calling you the N-word. You're at the cookout.
What's up, my brother?
Yeah, you're my brother. Yeah.
Got
Like, you got the badge. Like, you're cool. You know, I just, you know, like Frank said, I could say it. I'm never gonna say it, but maybe I would to Frank. But anyway, she had a thumb button. I can't remember what brand, and she got her new Hoyt in that she's like super stoked on. I'm like, let me shoot this bad boy. Let me try this thumb button. I couldn't get her thumb button to go off because the barrel was off to the side,
way off.
And I'm like, I can't get this to go off. She's like, what do you mean you can't get it to off? Pull it. I'm like trying to like squeeze through it. I'm like, I can't get this thing to go, and it made me uncomfortable. I just let down. I'm like, I can't get this thing to fire.
Weird.
And it just, however, my idiot brain was trying to function it, but it was like off.
You were probably pulling the trigger versus compressing the trigger based on where it was.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And so in this concept,
not even pulling you.
Yeah,
could have been pushing it sideways.
Yeah, you could have been. And so,
maybe I was.
And for me, like I said, when I design stuff, I design it for me, and it just seems to transfer to other people.
So let's keep in mind, and as we're going through this conversation in real time, Dale, I'm understanding why this concept now makes so much sense. Dale's the 12%er. He's broken.
Broken. Oh, great! I'm broken now.
Dale shoots left-handed.
Oh, yes.
So when he builds a release, like this prototype specifically, the clear one over here, because I've tried to use that and put my own fair amount of shots through it as a left-handed release, and the barrel was somewhere very odd.
Yeah.
And I would physically take the barrel off of it, and I personally would just
shoot the little metal part.
Oh,
the metal part. Right.
The bones of it.
Yeah.
And now as Dale has come to the realization that we just need a barrel that's in line, I think that's the advent of the whole point of
you don't got to worry about it.
The lefts are over here, the rights are over here, but really we all just we all in the middle?
We're all in the middle. In the middle.
And you're taught to keep everything in line. In archery, you're taught to keep this in line and keep your bone structure in line and do all this stuff. So why take your thumb and go way out to the edge so you can press?
That's true.
And why extend your trigger way back here? Because what happens is if you have a lever, and the shorter the lever is, the less movement you will feel.
Yep.
The longer the lever is, the more movement you will feel.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay, let me answer you this.
Let me ask you.
Okay, tell me, ask me.
So when I draw
okay,
with this, because I'm not a thumb button guy, I'm learning.
Okay.
Do I want this buried?
You don't have to have it buried,
because
but
it feels comfortable to have it in this.
Yep.
That crease.
That crease is perfect, and then you want to pull with your ring finger to the button. So you want to lock your thumb and pull it to the button. Like that.
Yeah, that feels good.
Because what that takes away is this punching motion.
Yep.
Because some other thumb buttons that I have fucked with, the barrel is so big that I feel like I have to have it into this big
no, you don't.
thumb pocket here, whatever you want to call it.
So now if you take your thumb, if you take the pad of your thumb and even you rotate the release, we'll say it with your ring finger forward, and you put the pad of your thumb on the edge of the release, not the button, the release.
Like this?
Yeah, just on the pad.
Oh, I see, like this. Okay.
Yes. Now do that same motion. So pull through it and compress the trigger.
Well, that feels good too.
Yeah. So
See, now,
and that keeps you in line.
As an archery coach, I'm going to tell you right now, don't think about compressing the trigger.
No.
Just
you think about pull through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now,
because I'll tell you, like,
so now draw and cock it that way.
This is how I felt like I should shoot it. Like
Right,
this.
right. But that's also
This.
going to create punchy. So no, not as deep.
Not quite as deep.
Right there.
Right there.
Now hook your thumb. And just now, I want you to envision pulling through the top side of your forearm. Just pull.
Yeah, with your ring fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Feels
So
good.
you're taking the trigger, you're taking this mechanism out.
Yes. Yes.
The most
you're taking that part exaggerated. You're taking that part.
So the most receptors in your body are in your index finger and your thumb. That's how you pick up stuff.
Yeah.
So if you were to take this and you pick it up, you can tell me if it's smooth, hot, sharp, cold, rough, whatever. And it all
Right there.
uses
Hook it right there.
all
And
those use the
just think
same
you're
part of your
driving this
brain.
back, right? Elbow high.
Yep.
Just pull through. You're aiming hard, and you're just pulling.
You need to flip your headphones. The other
I know.
way.
I keep running that damn cord.
wire. It's a nice feel.
Oh, it feels amazing.
But I'm wondering if I become a thumb button guy. I'm just a fucking pussy when it comes to that ibex, man. I like and it's just
and that's fine.
I just am. I admittedly.
If you're a hinge guy, you're a hinge guy. If you're not,
but I'm a hinge guy, but not actually a hinge guy.
I'm not a hinge guy.
I'm
well,
not.
and
Not come to terms
that's
with that.
fine. You know, when we're at events, people
I'm
come
scared.
by and they pick up the ibex and they go, "Is this a thumb button?" No. Okay, I'm out. And it happens
no.
all the time. No,
All the time.
no, because it scares them, and because you have to draw it a certain way, you have to draw a hinge a certain way.
Yeah.
That for me, it's natural now. I mean,
I gotta have an archery learning session.
You know what? The weight on your index you can get away with.
100%. I know exactly what that feels
it.
like.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, Eric's getting an archery lesson. You guys got to talk to that mic if you want the camera to turn on you. That's
All right. Well, draw again. All right, good. Now a little more into this finger. I want to see this go here. Okay.
More forward.
Yeah. Perfect. Now I want you to pull through this line. Harder.
looking hot.
Looking hot.
You look at hot.
Real hot.
Quit thinking about the release. So again, come to draw.
So we're not spending
Good,
too
that
much of
angle's
your
better.
time here, right?
There. All right. Now
This audience
just
is going to like
pretend
it.
you're aiming.
They're gonna love
14-hour podcast.
Yeah,
they're gonna love it.
Through here. There. See how your hand came straight back?
Yeah. Yep.
You didn't stop your hand.
Yep.
Prior to that,
crazy how
you're
that
trying to
feels,
fight
isn't
the
it?
control of your hand.
It is.
I mean,
There's no
Right, right.
control.
Thing that's
We're
funny.
aiming.
So
This is
you're
all we're doing
pulling-
is aiming. Now we're just
so
aiming
what
the
I
thumb.
do, yeah. So what I do is when
So
I
again,
shoot
same
this,
thing.
I basically
Engage the
take
thumb,
this part of my thumb and I put it
we're
right.
driving this back.
Okay.
In this.
Okay. So what that does is it locks this barrel right into that groove,
Okay.
and then
What an archery
So
lesson.
So now, if you go back into that video
That's all
from
it is.
before I
It's
walked
just
over there,
this motion.
your elbow was here.
Gotcha.
So now your elbow's in line, and ergonomically you're correct.
there you go.
So now engage the trigger. Don't be afraid of it.
Like you said, I think I was thinking too much about what I was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that.
So
and
get that thumb pad.
We talked about
on
this
the
earlier
release.
about having issues with people setting a release too light.
Yeah.
They're afraid to engage the trigger. That thing's not set that light. So you
No.
can engage, you can become a part of it.
Yeah,
now you're
you-
just boom,
then you
shot's
just
gone.
pull
Yeah.
through it.
So my thing in a hunting situation, I never want to release that too light because fuck, we all have been there.
Well, even gloves. You're wearing gloves. You're
Yeah.
doing whatever. I shoot this release with gloves all the time, and I do it just for fun.
My
just
thing is
for
you watch guys,
practicing.
you get a drilling, you get a deer coming in, and you're like,
Ding, bam.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, you hit it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It's like, or just you never know.
It
Like,
happens. No,
Yeah, you never know.
100%.
that's what scares me about
100%.
a hinge style. Like, all right, you're the tree's here and you're turning and you've hit and you've go, oh fuck, and
Yeah.
I just that panic like
Yeah.
freaks me
I,
out.
get- I
But
get what you're saying.
anyway, no man, I think you developed some great options for all archers, left or right-handed, and it's a good thing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's
We're
a big
really
deal.
happy with it. The people have liked it. People, obviously that have the IBACs have really liked it because they can switch between the two, whether it's
Yeah.
windy or whatever. I mean, we've had a lot of hunters that hunt with IBACs,
Yeah.
which is super cool.
Jake Powers gassed it up hard.
Yeah.
He gassed it up hard, and he's our guy. So, I mean, you're not getting this one back.
Okay. I understand that. I do understand that.
Well, there went mine. Am I ever going to get one?
You have some in your workstation, like probably.
I do not.
Well, you have a guy.
James
you
has
have a
all
guy.
of them.
Hey,
So
just make one, don't tell
James,
anybody.
Just make another one.
So James, our manufacturer, the guy that runs all this for Nick,
The production
guy, he's got a pile of them on it.
Oh,
And he's like wants to laser engrave him with his own thing. What's he gonna call it? He's gonna laser engrave
The dick
The dick. Yeah.
Oh.
So he's gonna put that on his
DIK.
Yeah. So
Well,
he's gonna put. Well, we don't know. James, we don't know.
We had some team meetings about the name of this
Name.
release.
That was his name.
And Dale wanted the shadow for
Yeah.
in the shadow of the ibex.
Yep.
About it.
They match.
But we had some other ideas, and James liked the dick.
Hey, since he's the one building, he can engrave it with whatever he wants.
Right.
I'll tell you, the Ibex graphic or logo or whatever on there is very nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Well, congratulations, man.
Yeah.
I'm
No, we
excited to see
appreciate
what
it.
this
Thank
does
you.
in the archery scene. It's going to
Thank
be
you.
big. So I'm a fan of the feel. I'm going to shoot it and see what see how I
what it's
like
all
it,
about.
see what I can do with it. So
Yeah.
hopefully we're killing bears here in a couple weeks with them. But
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
dude, Evolution, we got the rundown for the most part front to back.
did.
I feel like we're going to do a lot more episodes and we're going to talk a lot more about it. The more shit we tip over with Evolution products, man. So we appreciate you giving us the inside and out
Absolutely.
of it all. There's more to be talked about you here at the end.
Okay.
But AAE and Nick,
Yeah, we'll get him going.
we'll give you some attention here because
you just have a few drinks.
I'm gonna need
few more
another
drinks.
drink,
Yeah,
so I
just
get to sit
relax.
back and be quiet.
Just relax.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna go get another
I want to
drink.
see you. You've had 2 whiskeys now. It's
Yeah.
time to turn the wine back on.
Ooh,
Nah, we're gonna
anymore.
stick with that. We're gonna stick
Oh,
with
come
whiskeys.
on. It gets so much funner.
No, it gets so much better.
and this is where 719 starts. If we're gonna do 2, which
Check,
we
check,
could
check,
cleanly
check.
do 2 pods here.
Screen change.
Yeah, change your shirts, wipe your ass.
Wipe your ass.
Actually, we're breaking there. I'm going to pee.
Yeah, do it. Okay. This segment's brought to you by Evolution Outdoors and AAE. Use code WCB at evolutionoutdoors.com and AAE.com. Doug, you're
Yeah.
looking ravishing.
You
Thank
nailed it
you.
for self-defense.
You guys are all looking really good.
Dude, what? Fuck him, dude. What a fag.
You guys look fucking hot.
Gross.
I'm just kidding, dude. I didn't mean that. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, Doug, even though I have seen you.
I know.
Doesn't
Where
it
you
feel
been?
Like
I
we
feel
have-
like I'm just gone all the time, but I'm just working.
I feel like Doug's just emotionally distant from us. lately.
Why?
I don't know, man.
Do you think it's because we see more of each other now?
Yeah, it's for sure it.
And we just think Doug, like, we're always wondering, where's Doug?
Me, you, and Jordan.
Yeah.
I think you guys have conversations thinking I was there, or like I know what's going on when I don't.
I think Jordan does have a secret crush on you.
Oh, he for sure does. He sent me dick pics for sure.
Jordan did? Are you impressed?
I was actually really impressed.
Every time I see him, he's like, where's Doug at? I'm like, I don't know.
It'd be weird if he sent them to me.
Yeah, your boss. You can't send them to your boss.
It'd be funny, but do a skin watch or something.
Skin watch. What time is it?
Hey, anything can happen, brother.
Brother.
We appreciate you, Doug.
Thank you.
We could cut this and start another one, but you know, we'll just
Power through.
just power through. On audio, this is what it'll be. In
I
video,
will say
it'll be-
I am very sad. I'm not going bear hunting.
that was a fucked up deal.
I was really
So,
looking forward to that.
We had it planned.
Have we explained that yet?
I mean, I did a video.
You
for
did the
social, but-
video.
Yeah, we're gonna do a bear camp in Manitoba. Eric was gonna host Ontario, and I was supposed to go to both originally. And a fire got started in Manitoba and basically burned out the fucking whole camp. And we're trying to get John hooked up with trail cams and tree stands so we can at least cut some of the cost of getting back going for his business. So shout out to everybody who had reached out already for that had tree stands laying around. I'm trying to get John hooked up with some Blackgate trail cams. And we're going to redo our camp in 27 because he doesn't know what 26 looks like even at this point. So now I
That's
am
so
going to
unfortunate.
Ontario with Eric.
Yep.
We're going to be up there with the Old Barn crew hunting bears in Ontario here in like a week.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully that works out. But Doug, we'll get you up in Canada soon.
Hey, we'll send you pictures.
Yeah, I know you will.
It sucks, man.
It sucks for me because like I put in the vacation.
Expecting that.
We're 1 day away from. I guess we're leaving this. We would have left this weekend.
We would have left.
Yeah.
I'm mentally
3 days.
am
mentally-
on vacation.
Yeah, you're already there.
I'm not gonna go back to work.
So you just canceled it?
Yeah, I'm gonna waste 40 hours on nothing.
Yeah. Well, hey, save some vacay time.
I am.
It sucks, man. It sucks. But I was really looking forward to that camp. The more we got closer, I'm like, oh, this could be fun.
I was getting pretty pumped. It just sounded like a good time.
Yeah. But you know what? What do you do?
It is what it is. I mean, nothing you guys can really do about it.
I know. I got to figure out something else.
Oh, fuck, I fucked everything up.
Take it easy, pal.
Sorry.
You all right?
Excited. No.
I need to make a drink, actually.
Yeah. Intermission.